a month. That kind of relief changes everything. Suddenly, they weren't financing their past, they were funding their future. One manageable payment, more cash flow, less stress, and no upfront fees, no obligation. Your story can change too. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334 and MLSconsumeraccess.org.
In a city full of choices, your savings destination is Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro. Over 300 new Toyota Tacomas, only $399 a month lease. Visit GrooveToyota.com. $399 a month Tacomas, built for the Rockies, priced for you. Buy today in person or at GrooveToyota.com. Start here, go anywhere.
Closed and lease for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. Zero security deposit on approved credit. Call 720-961-4465 for complete details. Offer expires 6/126.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
When an 80,000-pound semi-truck collides with a passenger vehicle, the results can be devastating. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting for seriously injured truck accident victims in Colorado. These are complex cases that require serious resources and experience. We bring both to every case to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured in a trucking accident, don't wait. Call the Wilhite Law Firm, 303-GOOD-LAW, or visit wilhitewins.com.
Hey guys, boy Stink here today by my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. You want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts.
One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Thursday, May 21st, on a bit of a reaction Thursday as we try to gather our thoughts following a gut punch of a loss in a massively important Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. What up, Phil?
Woo! What's going on, ZB, man? Yeah. It's going to be a long day for us, just breaking things down, dissecting it, kind of trying to feel better about ourselves. But now I am not going to let one game dictate my mood today, man. We're going to go at this full speed. It's a Thursday. My grass is greener than ever, so I'm happy that the rain has been falling, and hopefully I get a little bit more rain. Maybe tonight. I love that the sun's out, so I'm enjoying the sun, but I want some rain tonight because I'm all about my grass.
Well, it started to pour last night on the way home from the game.
Man.
And so we got a lot of that. It felt like it was raining inside Ball Arena from a mood standpoint. I mean, that was – I turned to you at one point in the third period and said, man, this is one of the flatter crowds I can ever remember for a game of this magnitude. But, of course, it makes sense. You touched on it off the top. I mean, when the team does not give you enough to be fired up about, that's the energy in the stands is going to be a reflection of what's on the ice. And what was on the ice was just not good enough. It's not the worst game that was ever played. They didn't get blown out. They didn't lose 5-1. They had a shot there down the stretch, but it was too little too late. And that trend is becoming a bit bothersome. When you look back, if I said, hey, what was your biggest takeaway from last night?
Yeah.
How would you answer that question?
I'm just going to – it's sitting right in front of us. The biggest takeaway is we miss Cale. If Cale Makar is in there, things are a lot different. And I'm going to give a big-time example. I was surprised that Devontae's was the point on the power play.
Yeah.
I for sure thought that they were going to go with Malinsky. Number one, Malinsky is right-handed, so it's easier to get that puck on the left circle to Netchus and McKinnon. And then
and that's like Cale.
And that is like Cale,
a right-handed player,
and whereas Devontae's is left-handed. So it's a lot slower. So even when you're on the right circle and Devontae's is trying to get the ball to Nate Dogg going to have to switch his direction.
Get
so
the
he
puck.
Yeah.
He said get the ball. Get the puck.
Oh, get the puck. I'm sorry, man. And so when you do things like that, it slows the pace down. On top of that, the defenders were sagging off of Taves, forcing him to take a shot. But Devon Taves is not going to take that shot.
No.
And so it's just been discombobulated because Kel is not there. And then, of course, on the blue line, they struggled. And that's why Betsy had to shift and switch up pairings at times because you are missing Kel. I know that's like no-brainer. Like, we know that's why Kel is going to be a Hall of Famer. But he was really missed. And I thought that the players were going to rally around Kel not being there and do a little bit better than what they did last night, Z.
I think you just said rally around. I think that is my biggest I don't know if it's my biggest takeaway. It's right near the top because the Avs didn't rally at all. There was not the requisite level of intensity that I think they started the game back. You know, we missed the first handful of minutes of that first period.
Yeah.
I went back and watched it. Those guys were flying around the first 4 or 5 minutes, creating opportunities. The place is getting hot. And then it just sort of went away, and the Avs got out of their game, and the game sort of got like junked up a little bit and lost some momentum. But I think that if the Avs, see, a part of me, obviously, Cale's absence is massive, and we're going to talk about him in dedicated fashion here in just a couple minutes. But yes, Cale's massively important. Yes, Cale's a top 5 player in the world.
Yeah.
But that's not an excuse for getting down. Not having him is not an excuse for getting down 3-0 at home. I mean, that, like, because Cale is not worth 3 goals in the first 2 periods. He's not. He's not. Like, I don't know if the greatest player in the world is worth 3 goals in the first 2 periods. So it's like, I was disappointed that similarly to what game was it in the Wild series? Was it game
5?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was game 5. They eventually came back and won it, but it was like, how is this the approach here? And not that it was that bad last night, because like I said, it started off well, but I was disappointed that it seemed like throughout the game that the team was flat, and the team had been off for a week straight. And we talked about this at 5:30 yesterday, the rest versus rust conversation. We didn't talk about it a lot in the week leading up to the game. Maybe we should have talked about it more, honestly, because it looked to me like a rusty hockey club out there last night.
No, definitely it was a rusty hockey club. And on top of that, everybody has to do their job. Z, there was opportunities after opportunities. So I'm not going to sit here and say the Colorado Avalanche couldn't have won this game. LOC himself had one that hit the rail.
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
And it's like you have to make and take advantage of those opportunities. LOC, I know you're on the fourth line, but, man, that one right there, that gives you a chance to build up that momentum, and you could probably win because you get the puck to go in the back of the net. You needed something like that, and there was a couple other ones that were that were opportunities that were just left out there. And I don't want to take anything from Hart because he did his job, big time save.
He was fantastic.
But this is the Colorado Avalanche we're talking about, and the reason why they're so dominant is because they have been taking advantage of those opportunities when they're there.
There was so many missed opportunities, and that's why it's not one of these absolute laid an egg, lost 5-1. Like, that's not what this was. But at the end of the day, it's the postseason. It's the NHL's Final Four. It's not about, hey, good process. Like, we want the result.
Yeah.
And so whether you lost 5-1 or whether you lost ultimately 4-2, you're still down 1-0 in a series. And that's a big deal. And we gave you the stat yesterday that the Golden Knights were 7-1 in their last 8 postseason series in game number 1. 7-1 in game ones over the course of those 8 series, and now they're 8-1, and so clearly they just have that sort of riddle solved, whether they're home or going on the road. And I have to share this stat, and I'm not telling you this is what's going to happen because I don't think this is going to happen. But much like the 7-1 stat going into the game, it deserved to be shared. The Knights have gone on to win 6 of their previous 7 series when they take a 1-0 lead. Like, this is why it's stressful. It's stressful. Now, it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But at the same time, I thought in some ways, from a lacking of taking advantage of opportunities, from mistakes that they made you pay for, some of that last night could have been avoided.
And Z, I thought Torch did a great job of one, adjusting, adapting to things, but also a great game plan from just the start, right off the bat.
Sure.
With saying, like, look, we're not going to fight fire with fire. We're not going to try to outpace you because we know you guys can do that and actually do it better than we are. So our style of this game is going to slow the pace down. Force you guys to play like you guys played in round 1 against the Kings.
Correct.
Muck it up. All right, have to do the dirty work. And this time, the Avs were not ready for that fight. And you said it multiple times. The Avs can change up their style. Southpaw, they can get down and dirty. But this time last night, it didn't look like they were prepared. And when it was like, okay, we're going to have to be a little bit more physical. We're going to have to get these dirtier goals, the rebound goals. They were not ready for it.
Man, you mentioned the rebounds, and we'll get into it. But, man, there were so many juicy rebound opportunities that the Avs just did not capitalize on. It felt like a lot of stuff was coming from the perimeter. So many blocked shots for Vegas. I mean, that was another huge theme of last night. And so here you are. Here you are. You've lost home ice that you worked so hard to getting that President's Trophy and finishing leaps and bounds ahead of the field, and it has evaporated. And now, tomorrow, I mean, this is a must-win tomorrow night. It has to be. And I know technically it's not. It is in theory, but not in practice, because you could go down 0-2 and win the series the same way that Vegas did this to you. But when I think about this club, I cannot help myself. 7 of the last 8 years, the inability to get, to the top.
Yeah.
And it's just real history. And there's some demons. And here you are down in the Western Finals to a team that's had your number in the past. They're on the list of rivals. They're probably not at the top, but they're on the list. And I'm stressed. Are you stressed?
I'm stressed, Z. I'm stressed. Some of my hair fell out today. I'm stressed. I mean, you're sitting here, all right, you're doing everything you need to do to get to this point, and yet you let this one slip away.
Man, it was a big one. It's a big one. Okay, spring is back, guys. That means it's the Brouhaha Tour. Join us tomorrow from 2 to 6 p.m. for our first stop at Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. We're only doing 3 of these total this year, so we would love to see you tomorrow at Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. All right, all of a sudden, we have the biggest question in Denver sports by a country mile right now, and we'll ask it next.
It's the ultimate showdown for a great cause.
Setting up the ultimate gold medal showdown.
On June 11th, Brandon Stokely goes head-to-head with Zach Bai in 100 Holes for Kids. 100 holes of golf. It's a one-day event all to raise money for Recruiting Classroom, whose mission it is to help kids play sports. Who will raise the most? That's where you come in. Pick your player, make your donation, and help kids win. To support Brandon Stokely, head to StokelyCares.com. To support Zach Bai, head to ZachCares.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about intimacy. Let me just say something. And you already know this to be true, but intimacy matters. It matters a lot. But when erectile dysfunction gets in the way, it can be maddening, embarrassing, even isolating, all right? The truth is, most men don't have to live with ED anymore, all right? It's 2026. The Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they use advanced medical science and proven therapies that go far beyond pills. I'm talking success rates well over 90%. They've served the Front Range of Colorado for nearly a decade and have successfully treated tens of thousands of men. All right, the initial visit is just $99. That includes a medical consult, AT, and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. It's real simple, fellas. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit's free. They have 5 locations in Colorado to serve you, so call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
So what makes Champ Honda different? It's simple. One price, one person, 1 hour, meaning clear, upfront, and fair pricing. There are no games, no guesswork, and you work with a single client advisor from start to finish. No runaround, there's no back and forth, and 1 hour so you can spend less time at the dealership and more time doing what you love. Plus, at Champ Honda, they never charge dealer handling fees. None. It's a better way to buy a car, and once you experience it, you'll wonder why every dealership doesn't do it this way.
Tune in Tuesday afternoons for Injury Insights with Zach Bai and Dr. Joseph Ramos to hear the latest injury news on your local teams and around the world of sports. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
When it's sports, you love watching the pros.
If it's surgery, you definitely want the pros.
When you need a new roof, call Denver Roof Pros.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
Brandon Stokely here from my friends at Roller Auction. Do you have items you're looking to sell? Since 1976, Roller Auction has been conducting commercial and industrial auctions for Colorado government agencies, Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, secured creditors, individuals, and more. They have a large marketplace to showcase your assets, so don't wait. Visit rollerauction.com for a free consultation and turn those items into some cold, hard cash. Again, go visit them at rollerauction.com. That's rollerauction.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're over 50, there's a good chance you're dealing with an enlarged prostate. Waking up at night, weak stream, all of it. Here's the good news. PAE, prostate artery embolization, is minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatment with near zero impact on sexual function. Lakewood location, personalized care. Visit coloradoae.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
They were playing this last night in the arena and trying to fire everyone up.
That was their hype video, too.
Going into the third period, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yep.
And it didn't really work.
No, it did not put on for the city.
Oh, man. Oh, man. It was.
Go back to the other one you were talking about.
Brother, it was one of the weirder atmospheres that I've been a part of. The only comp that I can compare it to, and it's not necessarily appropriate because this was just even like 2 levels higher, but it was Game 5 of the Stanley Cup with a 3-1 lead. And I'll remember it for the rest of my life for unfortunate reasons, but everyone in the arena, it was the most awkward sporting event I've ever been to, where everyone was ready for a powder keg to explode. And you're going to see McKinnon and Gabe skate around the ice with the cup.
Yep.
And it was going to be legendary. And the party never started. And it was just one of these things where, like, how could they be so flat in a closeout game? It was similar. Like, how could the team be so flat in Game 1? I mean, I know it's not Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but it's the Western Conference Finals.
I know, and the only time you heard that pop, and I actually started getting a little bit of the goosebumps, was when the Avs scored the 2 goals, and it was 3-2, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, especially the second one.
Exactly. Are the Avs going to do something here? And then you're on the break, and they're getting everybody riled up and ready to go, and it's like, this is what I miss, Z. I actually told myself that in my head. I miss when the game is on the line, and the crowd is going crazy and insane, and you know that if you mess up, the game is going to be over, but you're in those moments because a lot of people don't get to have those moments. And so, like, you're sitting there and you finally get the crowd on their feet, and they don't find a way to pull it through to try to go into overtime. So it's just, like, disheartening. It's disappointing, but now you got to move on to the next. But before that, we still got to dissect and talk about what happened last night.
Totally. And I said going into the last break, all of a sudden, we have the biggest question in Denver sports. And for the moment that we're living in, it's not particularly close. What is the health of Cale Makar? What is the status of Cale Makar for Game 2? And I don't think that, one, I still think the Avs should have won last night.
Definitely.
If they had a better approach and just capitalized on their opportunities. But, man, I think we're all collectively rethinking just how important Cale Makar is. Look, it's not, we understand how important he is, but when you actually live through it, I often make this analogy. It's like, I know how important my wife is to our household and all the stuff that she does as a mom and a wife just all this stuff, right? I understand that.
We need them.
We do. So that's not something I need to be coached up on. But at the same time, if she left for a week, even with the understanding that I just explained, it would just resonate different when you actually live through it. And so when you're actually living through it and you're like, holy smokes, this guy does kind of do everything. This guy would be on the ice for, 28 to 30 minutes if he was healthy. And as a two-way defenseman, I don't know if there's anything in the game of hockey that can be as close to the importance of a quarterback than a two-way defenseman. And who he is on the power play and who he is on both sides of the ice, it's just so massive. And just living through the experience, we haven't had to do that. Cale's always available. He's missed one postseason game ever, and it's because he got a one-game suspension.
But you know what that also reminds me of? Bo Nix last year in the AFC Championship. There's a couple times where I'm like, if Bo's in there, he makes that play.
Yep.
If Bo's in there, he's running for that first down. That's the exact same thing. And I don't want to compare Bo to Cale because Cale's been doing it and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But for Cale, I'm sitting there saying, damn, if Cale's in there, he makes that play. If Cale's in there, he's putting pressure on the defense on the power play to move up to stop Cale from shooting because they just sagged off of Taser and let Taser do what he wanted to do. And Taser wasn't taking the opportunity to take that shot, but Cale would have. Right. So, we were missing Cale in different ways. Defensively, the power play as the quarterback. And so that's why he's so important. But you are right, Z. Even without Cale last night, the Colorado Avalanche still should have won. They had opportunities, and they did not take advantage of those damn opportunities.
Here was Bednar after the game talking about missing Cale.
He's an important player, right? And he plays a lot. And some of the areas that we struggled with tonight, those are his strengths, right? So, yeah, it affects. He's out there a lot with the McKinnon line. There's definitely, a trickle-down effect to that.
It should not have cost them the game. But it could, if he can't go, potentially cost this series. And I did not think I'd be saying that yesterday. I still think the Avs are going to win because I think Cale's going to play.
Yeah.
And we have footage from just moments ago out at skate. He looks good. He's moving around for the hip injury that he has. He looks good. How will that shoulder hold up when he gets some contact? How will that shoulder hold up when someone jabs at it after the whistle? I have no idea. But just here's where I'm at, and it's similar to yesterday. For Cale Makar to leave a postseason game a week ago, and then for him to miss the Western Conference Finals Game 1 a week after the injury, he's not going to be 100% 48 hours at, if he was 75%, he probably would have went last night.
Yeah.
So it's whatever he's got going on, a sprain, AC joint, collarbone, rotator cuff, I have no idea. No one knows. But it's not going to be 100%, and if he can't go, this series feels like, from me, I picked the Avs in 5. That I just can't see that happening now. It feels closer to a coin flip than the vibe that I had yesterday. If he either can't go or he's a shell of himself when he does go.
Even if Cale is in the mix, I still had it going Game 7 just because of both teams having the experience and both teams that just their style of play is similar in their physical. The Knights are physical, but also the Avs are. Now, you adding Cale to the mix, you do believe, right? So you believe he's going to
I think we're going to see him tomorrow.
I do too. I believe we're going to see Cale tomorrow. He was skating around last night, and it looked like he was skating around smoothly. He was skating around today, and he looked good. But also, there's a lot of pressure put on Cale to go out there. He saw his teammates and what happened. And now for him, it's like, as a player, as a competitor, you're like, damn, I need to be out there for my team. Even if I am 50%, all right, my 50% could help this team out. My presence alone, just being out there, being the quarterback on the power play, making the right passes, and even taking those shots when they're open, that matters. And so I can see Cale going and pushing through it because this is hockey and everybody's going through an injury. But Cale's going to be out there no matter what because of his teammates and because he's a competitor.
Well, you have to be ready for anything. And it's not just an Avs thing. Their captain, Mark Stone, isn't playing. So it's no one's feeling sorry for Colorado. That's for sure. Okay, we'll put a pin in the Avs here just for a minute. We'll get back into them at the top of the hour. In the meantime, what was the single best move of the Broncos offseason? There seems to be some debate around that, and we'll weigh in next.
You asked for it, you got it. Backed by popular demand, it's the Drives Brouhaha.
Big social brouhaha.
This spring, Zach and Phil are back on the road, bringing their party to you. First stop, the Golden Triangle in Denver. May 22nd from 2 to 6 at Schoolyard Beer Garden.
There was quite a brouhaha.
Come find out what the commotion's all about. Head to DenverSports.com/drive for more details.
Guaranteed to bring the brouhaha.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And if you need serious car repairs but don't want the hassle of a shop, All Points Automotive is 100% mobile. From engine rebuilds to transmission replacements and all the mechanical work you need, they come to you guys. To book your appointment, visit allpoints-automotive.com.
The playoffs bring out the teams that perform when the pressure is highest and every possession matters. When you're bidding an electrical project, you don't want a streaky shooter. You want a team with a 40-year winning record. That's Piper Electric. From commercial construction to EV charging, fire alarms, power distribution, and preventative maintenance, their electricians are safety-driven, highly skilled, and ready for complex environments. So when your project goes out for bids, take the high percentage shot. Visit piperelectric.com.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
Dan Jacobs with the tale of two cousins. They were both in the same accident. One cousin said she didn't need a lawyer. And when the insurance company offered her $3,000 and said they would pay all of her medical bills, that cousin was very upset because she cashed that check. And when the medical bills kept coming in, the insurance company was long gone. The other cousin called 303 Law 4040. She was offered $30,000. And when we said no way, the judge used scare tactics trying to get her to accept the lowball offer. That's where a lot of lawyers will try and get their clients to cave in, but not us. We said that's fine. We'll tell her story to a jury. Before we could even get up and walk out of the room, that case settled for $1.1 million. That cousin was very happy. The insurance companies work for their shareholders. At 303 Law 4040, we work for you. You don't have to feel guilty about asking for what's fair. We hope you never need us, but accidents do happen, so go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors, your siding, windows, decking, and roofing specialist. During the month of May, 5280 Exteriors are offering you $1,000 off a new project. They also offer finance plans that come with no payments for 2 years. 5280 Exteriors is a locally owned company that has been in business for 20 years and knows the Colorado climate. They are a 2024 and 2025 James Hardy President's Club winner. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
They were playing this last night, too. I think there's like some unwritten contract that if you're like the audio guy for a hockey game in any state, you play Baba O'Reilly. I swear, every hockey game I've ever been to.
It's probably in the contract. Like, you must play this song.
Like, I swear, AHL right on up. All right. Shifting gears here. We'll get back to here in the following segment, more takeaways from the Vegas, really just landing the first punch of the fight. And that's all it is. I don't want to make anything more of it than that. But that being said, well, it's the old Mike Tyson quote, right? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
And I thought it was going to be a certain dynamic, and it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And I have plenty of more thoughts that I want to comb through with you and pick your brain on what you saw last night and what you expect moving forward. But in the meantime, so Bill Barnwell, ESPN, I really like reading Bill Barnwell. He's a really smart guy. He's not a hot take guy. He's very information-based, and I typically learn something, which is mostly what I'm trying to accomplish in my hours leading up to coming in here. Like, how much can I learn reading and listening to these podcasts?
Yeah, I thought you've learned everything. All right, you're the teacher. We're just all the students.
No. I honestly, just in life, I think that you people who end up gaining the most knowledge are the ones who admit on an everyday basis that they don't have it all figured out. Right? So it's about listening and reading to other smart people that you respect, and then you become better, or more well-rounded in those topics that you're delving into. So I like Bill Barnwell. That's a long way of saying I like Bill Barnwell. And he highlighted the best move of the offseason for every team in the NFL. And tell me if you agree with this. He has the best move of the offseason, re-signing J.K. Dobbins, a player who has never finished a single NFL season. He had it at number 1. And he pointed to some of the things that we know and understand since 2020. 51 running backs have racked up 500 or more rushing attempts, all right? Among those backs, J.K. Dobbins ranks 3rd in yards per carry, 9th in success rate, 2nd in explosive play rate. If you like some of the more advanced stats, a 1st in rushing yards over expectation, 1st in EPA per rushing attempt. Dobbins also, and I'm going to be honest, and this is what you learn when you read this stuff. I didn't realize Dobbins hadn't had a single fumble since 2020.
I didn't realize that either.
So
my man holds on to the football
like you used to,
right? Like me. He must be learning at my tutorial. I have one up on YouTube. This is how you hold the football.
Do you really have one up on?
No, I can't give my secrets out. Only for my son.
Well, you no longer have the NFL record.
I don't.
That got broken this year.
Tyler Algier. Undrafted free agent too. He was undrafted.
So another
one.
So he's on the USS Phil.
There we go.
The undrafted soft
I
spot.
I don't know though, man, because he breaks my record. I don't know how happy I am about that. But you know what? What can I do about it?
So Phil had the record for most carries in NFL history without ever having a single fumble.
Yeah.
It was like over 600, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like over 600, like 630.
Yeah, something like that. And now that's no longer yours.
It's not. I'm just another guy.
That stinks.
Just another guy, man.
That stinks. But so he had Dobbins as the number 1 move of the Broncos offseason. I think the lower hanging fruit there would be the addition of Jalen Waddle.
Exactly, Z. I think we make things harder than they have to be.
Is that what Barnwell's doing here?
Yes. And I know he's doing his job. He's trying to dig deep, because if he goes and says Jalen Waddle, well, everybody's going to sit there and say, well, duh. But also for me, I'm going to say, you don't have to reach for something that is right in front of you. Just go ahead and say Jalen Waddle. I understand J.K. Dobbins, but with the information that you and I both have, the Broncos, they weren't eyeing J.K. Dobbins at the beginning of free agency. They wanted a couple other running backs before J.K.
They did.
And so, you end up having to come back and kiss J.K.'s butt to get him to come back into the building, because he was going to sign. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he was going to sign with Jacksonville.
He was.
And so they find a way to sweeten the pot, sweeten the deal. J.K. comes back, because why wouldn't you want to come back to a place that's established with Bo Nix? You had success. You know you're going to be the starting running back, and you're getting your money and a little bit more. So for me, although it's bringing J.K. Dobbins back is really, really good as long as he can stay healthy, I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle. Why would you not, Z?
Yeah, I think that it is overthinking. Now, we all know, we've had these conversations for a year straight. everyone, now you might not know all his advanced stats and where he ranks in yards per carry among the guys who qualify and all this stuff, but everyone knows that J.K. Dobbins is an awesome football player when he's healthy. The problem is he's never stayed healthy for an entire season.
Not available.
Since going back to Ohio State. That's where you have to reach to when he was available for an entire season. So that's whether Dobbins can play or not has literally never been in question. That's not the conversations we have about Dobbins. In terms of Waddle, that has an opportunity to change the geometry of the football field for the Broncos.
Yes.
In a way that no one else really represents what he does right now. You would like to think so because maybe they run fast and maybe Mims or Troy Franklin, but they're not proven route running speedsters, game breakers like Jalen Waddle.
Well, on top of that, being able to run down the middle of the field.
Right.
Catch the ball down the middle of the field, break a tackle, and take it to the house. Jalen Waddle is going to do that for you. So when Jalen Waddle is doing that, it's opening up the game. You're more dynamic. Now you can be more explosive. You can be more aggressive. Marvin Mims, he may get more shots downfield. Bo Nix is going to feel more comfortable knowing that there's a guy named Jalen Waddle that can run some great routes that you don't have to wait for him to get out in and out of his break. He's ready to go. And then on top of that, you still got Courtland Sutton sitting right there.
Right.
So it's just about having weapons. And that's why adding Jalen Waddle was the best thing the Denver Broncos could do, especially when you have a first-time play caller in Davis Webb. There's no excuses, Davis Webb. You have the athletic players that you can run your offense with. You can run plays down the middle of the field or streak them down the field. So now you got to go out there and execute.
Well, we'll see how it all unfolds. So you and I see this similarly. He had the worst move of the offseason as letting John Franklin Myers walk out the door. And he says, well, they didn't really address it. They did in some ways.
Yeah.
I know he's not a first or second round pick, but we'll see how this all ages. But, and then the questions with Dobbins will persist until they don't. What are the chances that he stays healthy for an entire season for the first time ever? I'd say not very good. That's not something that I would bet on.
Well, and we're going to have to wait until the end of the season. We're going to have to wait until the playoffs, if we get to the Super Bowl, to be able to sit here and say, yes, J.K. Dobbins was able to get through a full season and help the Denver Broncos out. We can't get to week 10 like last year and say, he did it. No, he didn't. Can he stay healthy for that full season so that we can win a damn Super Bowl? That's going to be the question throughout the whole entire season, starting with preseason.
Yeah, and one of the things that Barnwell said in this piece is that even if he plays half the season, it'll be worth what the Broncos are paying him. And I'm like, I can't co-sign that either.
Give me $20 million to sit half the time. I'll do that.
Well, we know it's not fully. That's not his guaranteed money, right?
$8 million
$8
fully
million
guaranteed. There's some incentives, and it's a 2-year contract. So as long as he plays out the 2 years, he'll get the $20 million.
All right. Interesting conversation. If you want to react to it, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. We'd also love to hear from you on our YouTube chat presented by Champ Honda if you want to jump into either of these conversations. We were talking about Phil having the NFL record for up until this year of never having a fumble. And you said, I don't share those secrets, maybe only with my son. But if there ever was a day that you were going to share it, it might be for our Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, third annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan youth football camp, Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Kids aged 8 to 14 can enjoy hands-on coaching from former Broncos like Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, Brandon Stokely, as well as a staff of coaches from Denver South. Every penny of this, guys, benefits Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Colorado. For more information and to register your child, head to DenverSports.com/camp. All right, just how concerned should we be after the Avs laid an egg and lost home ice in the Western Conference Finals? We'll dive back into that coming up next.
The comeback magic almost struck again for the Colorado Avalanche, but this time they ran out of time. After clawing back late, Colorado fell just short as the Vegas Golden Knights held on for the Game 1 win in the Western Conference Final. Vegas grabs the early 1-0 series lead. Now the Avs look to respond Friday night. Don't miss the breakdown, reaction, and what Colorado must fix before Game 2. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
What is going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question here soon. And if that is the case, then guys, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or hey, just finally doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's all going to begin for you at Williams Jewelers. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family. And of course, their surface is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, but guys, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and of course the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and in Inglewood at Bryway and Bellevue. And don't forget to let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
People are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of folks don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're a homeowner, there is a way out. American Financing is helping people just like you every day. Real families who are tired of juggling bills and feeling judged by big banks where you're just a number. Their salary-based mortgage consultants will help you look at your whole financial picture, not just credit card debt. And with a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, the average customer is saving $800 a month. Imagine decluttering your monthly bills into one manageable payment and freeing up cash flow for the things that actually matter. Guys, there's no upfront fees and there's no obligation. Make your equity your exit strategy and stop financing your past so you can start funding your future. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
At Smart Local 9 Sheet Metal Workers, they provide highly trained sheet metal professionals ready to get the job done safely, efficiently, and with pride. Their workforce is built through a comprehensive 4-year apprenticeship program where apprentices earn while they learn, receiving industry-leading training in fabrication and installation of HVAC systems, as well as HVAC service, architectural sheet metal, testing, adjusting, and balancing, welding, computer-aided drafting, safety, and emerging technologies. Find out more at smw9.com.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
One hour in the books. Quicker than the Avs lost home ice advantage.
No, too soon. Way too soon.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Man. All right, that first hour did fly by. As painful as some of the conversations were. And look, it's one game. It's one game. But it's also kind of not one game.
It's an important game.
It's a very important game.
It's first game of the series. There's things that happen. You have some stats, right? That I don't know if you have them right now, but like there's some stats out there when it comes to teams winning the first game in the series, and it's important.
It is important. It's very important. So the Knights have now won 8 of their last 9 game ones. All right. And in their last 7 series, when they take a 1-0 lead, the Knights have gone on to win 6 of the 7 series.
Those are the stats I was talking about, Z.
Yeah. And they struck first. They landed that first punch. And in this postseason, when Vegas scores first, the Knights are 6-1 in this postseason. And so it's one of these things where it's a massively missed opportunity. But it's nothing more than that. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, massively missed, but it's nothing more than that. They have to beat you 3 more times. You still control your own destiny, but they did land a body blow to this club last night.
It's not the end of the world. You got hit in your stomach. You're going to have to regroup. But the Avs will regroup because that's what they have done all year long. They have been dominant. They have been resilient. They have found ways. They have adjusted. And that's exactly what Bednar is going to do. He's already have talked about switching some of the lines up and the pairings up when it comes to adjusting and adapting. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. You and I both think that Kale's going to play tomorrow. So that's going to change the dynamic of the game, and it's going to force the Vegas Knights to have to game plan for Kale. Even if Kale is 50%, you still have to respect him. So that things are going to change for the Colorado Avalanche. But also, guys, if we all remember, and some people didn't like what Nate Dogg said, but Nate Dogg said they're preparing for a Game 7 because they know that it's going to be tough. The players in that locker room and Bednar know that they're going to have to find ways to put this team out because this team is not going anywhere. And it starts in Game 2 where you still have a chance to have the crowd going insane and put yourself in an advantage or put yourself in an opportunity to be tied 1-1.
Well, the odds makers who don't have any emotion with this stuff.
I hate the odds makers sometimes, man.
Well, you're probably going to hate them today.
Here we go.
Again, they are pragmatic. The odds makers are pragmatic, okay? When I say pragmatic, remove all emotion. Just looking at the landscape of things, according to the odds makers, Colorado went from a minus 260 favorite to win the series. Minus 260, meaning that if you wanted to make $100 yesterday morning before the series started on the Avs to just win the series, you would have to bet $260 to win $100. It's not a bet that I would advise because there's not a lot of value in that. You got to fork over almost 3 times as much money as you're trying to win. And what has it shifted to? And by the way, I remember saying this earlier in the week to you, if not last week, to Will Peterson, I forget. But I said, it's almost the Avs odds over the Vegas Golden Knights, and it was a caution to not just assume that they're going to breeze through this. It was almost identical to the Denver Nuggets
Yeah, we did
against
Monday.
the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Monday, you put that out there.
Yep. So the Avs were minus 260 before the series started. The Nuggets were minus 265. What are the odds now? Colorado went from minus 260 yesterday morning to minus 122. The Knights are at plus 102. What does that mean? It's just essentially the odds makers believe that this series is now a coin flip.
And do you, ZB, when we first started this and you put out your prediction, you said this game could go, the Avs could win this in 5.
Yeah.
But you also said Kel needs to be involved.
Yeah.
You put that in there. Now, after watching that first game last night, you and I sitting there with Big O, and the Avs, flopped and they didn't do what they needed to do on home ice. What are you thinking now?
Like if I could recalibrate the series prediction?
Yeah, what would you predict? Or what are you predicting now? You still think Avs in 5?
No, definitely not. I mean, with the benefit of hindsight, and I'll say, God.
Go ahead, say it.
I don't want to say Avs in 7 because this thing, because no one has lost more Game 7s consecutively in all of pro sports than the Colorado Avalanche.
I didn't even think about it like that, Z.
They haven't won a Game 7 in over 20 years. Avs in 6. Avs in 6.
Avs in 6.
Yeah, Avs in 6. The Knights landed a really nice first punch. There's probably one more win baked into this really competitive matchup, but I'll take the Colorado Avalanche in 6, and I hope I'm right. And if this thing goes 7, I will be sitting at Ball Arena, and I already know how I'll feel. I'll feel like I want to throw up. I will have knots in my stomach.
Well, and then also you put the stat out there last night that the Vegas Knights, when it comes to Hart, has been really successful as a goalie in between the pipes in overtime.
In overtime, 6-0.
We were thinking that the Avs may go into overtime last night, and I was like, okay, yes, we get to overtime. But then they got to try to beat the Knights, who have been really, really good, or Hart, who has been really, really, really good in between the creases or the pipes when it comes to winning these games. And I was having that in the back of my head as well, Z.
Well, that's in my head. The Game 7 stuff is in my head. The flipped nature of the odds is in my head. Here's another one. Teams who are in Vegas' spot, who are the road team that steal Game 1, they go on to win the series 57% of the time.
Damn.
So there's a lot of stuff that's I just don't like about it, but this is a unique matchup. I don't want to obsess over the history, right? But in some ways, I just have to say this, in some ways, it does feel like the Avs are playing the Knights and simultaneously some of their postseason history at the same time. I'd be disingenuous if I came in here and was reacting to this game. And again, I still think the Avs are going to win the series, but the doubts and demons from the past are starting to just creep into the back of my head, because this is not the first time, and it's not the second time, and it's not the third time, and it's not the fourth time that we thought the Avs have had a team good enough to win the Stanley Cup. And did I think this was, or do I, in present tense, do I think this has a chance to be their best team? I do. But I also thought this was the best fielded Denver Nuggets team as well.
Yeah, but I will say this. We cannot compare the Denver Nuggets to the Avs, because the Avs, all right, this has been brewing for a couple years. And we talked about with Chris McFarland, this didn't just happen this year. It happened a couple years before that, specifically last year. And now we're starting to see things come full circle and starting to see things iron out and be successful. But there is something, too, when players have been in so many games like Kel, like Nathan McKinnon, where they haven't been on the winning side and they've been really, really good, but they fall short. It's in your head. And then you force yourself to press a little bit harder than you need to, and then you start messing up. And then you look up and you lose the series because of that. So for Nate Dogg, for Gabe, for Kel, they all have to sit back, relax, and understand that, guys, you guys been doing this all year. You have a unit. You have a team. You guys are deep. You guys have to trust each other. Trust Wedgwood. This wasn't all on Wedgwood last night, and I know a lot of people aren't saying that, but there's somebody out there that's saying they blame Wedgie. Of course he gave up that soft goal, but everybody has to do their job in front of him in order for things to be successful.
Before we talk about Wedgie, because I do want to talk about him, what is your concern level 1 through 10?
Z, I went back and forth on this because I knew you were going to ask me it. I'm gonna still keep it at a 3.
A 3?
I'm gonna keep it at a 3.
Oh wow!
That's how much confidence I have in the Colorado Avalanche. All right, like we went through and broke down the game all day last night before the game started. And we both sat here and said no matter what, the Avs are still going to win this series because of the firepower that they have. And they still have that firepower. And we will see, Kale, you're going to have matchups in games where they don't go your way. That's why I said this series is going to probably go to a Game 7. You have to think like that. Nathan McKinnon's thinking like that. The team is thinking like that. But guess what? There's 7 games that may end up being played, so you can't react after one and say, okay, the sky's falling, which you're not or anybody's not doing. But I have confidence.
Some people are. I see it.
Be.
I see it out there on social media.
No, I think for Nate Dogg, Kale, Gabe, the vets in there, even for Netches, like you sit down, you watch film, you react to it and say, okay, guys, flesh it out. I used to call it one snap and clear. We got to go back at it. Our back's against the wall. We gave up home ice. Now we have to try to take it back. We got to win at home tomorrow, and then we got to go steal one in Vegas.
Tomorrow's a must-win for you?
It's a must-win. Just like you talked about the Spurs versus the Thunder being a must-win for the Thunder, it's a must-win for the Colorado Avalanche. You cannot drop 2 games at home, Z.
Can't happen.
Just can't do that.
It can't happen. It can't happen. And so, man, oh, man, oh, man. My concern level...
What's the concernometer?
Yeah, the concernometer is at a...
And usually you're a little bit higher.
Yeah, I am. And that's just naturally. I have a tendency to worry. But with this group, I've lived through the sequence. 7 out of the last 8 years. Like, we've been thinking that this team is a Stanley Cup contender for nearly a decade. They've got there once. They haven't come close any other time. This is the closest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say... How about a 6?
Damn, that's pretty high.
I mean, is it
a 6 with a team that? I mean, it's game 1, and I'm never gonna tell a fan how to fan like you just always tell me. And
yeah, I'm at a 6. I mean, I'm not a 10 or a 9 or an 8 or even a 7.
6, why 6? Like, what about last night that has you really, really stressed out?
Well, I did see another soft goal.
Yep.
And that we've been having this goaltender conversation for months. It did play a dynamic in the loss. If that never happens and you score your second goal, this thing's going overtime. You're not pulling wedgie to try to salvage it. So that theme kind of continues. I've seen this club down 3 goals for 3 straight games. How about that?
That is true.
No, seriously. like the Vegas Golden Knights are playing their best hockey of the season. They're 16-4-1 in their last 21 games. They're playing their best hockey. And the Avs, in the most important time of year, have been down 3 goals in 3 straight games. I mean, am I alone here? That is bothersome.
That is a little weird. That's a little weird.
That's a real trend now in the Stanley Cup postseason. You had 3 straight games where you go down 3 goals, and does it come from a place of like arrogance that like the firepower? And see, I feel like we're talking about the Nuggets again, where it's like, well, they don't really have to play great defense because they're the number 1 offense.
And that used to frustrate the hell out of me when people would say that. Like, stop with that.
And then you get in the postseason and you can't score or guard. Now it's a massive problem, and now you're a first round out. And obviously this is much different. You're in the Western Conference Finals. So the tone should be different, but at the same time, when I talk about this team and like there's 2 different ways you can choose to look at it. You can look at this postseason in a vacuum and say, wait a second, that was their second loss of the entire postseason. No one's ever gone 16-2. We've seen 16-3 with a Gretzky team, but like, so this is supposed to happen. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, man, I've lived through this 7 different times. 7 times in the last 8 years. I've had the same sickening feeling in my gut in one form or another. And so I will not just look at this postseason in a vacuum. I have the history of the same collection of guys, a similar collection, a similar core of guys, same coach. In this case, in one season, the same team that you're playing. So I'd be, like I said before, I'd be lying if I said some of the history isn't impacting how I'm feeling kind of stressed on a day like today.
But Z, in those other times where the Avs failed to get to the mountaintop, which there was a lot of those times and they had really, really good teams, do you feel like they had what they have now? Firepower-wise, depth, maturity, I just feel like it's just different, man, the way they go about things. All right, they are a little rusty. They did have the 8 days off. And I don't want to make it an excuse. I'm just spitting facts on.
Yeah.
They were sitting there waiting to see who they were going to play. You're without one of your star players in Kel. That matters as much as we want to say you should have won without him. It matters because now you're scrambling because if they didn't know, or maybe it was 2 days before the game that they knew Kel wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
You still putting this game plan together. You find out Kel is not playing now. It's like, okay, damn, what are we going to do now? How is this going to look? I for sure thought Malinsky was going to be on the top pairing with Taser, and Malinsky was going to be at the point at the power play, and that wasn't the case. Taser was the point. So, like, they were scrambling, it looked like, to see what the pairings were going to look like, what some of these lines were going to look like, because they did end up moving Val to the third line to start the game. So I think that there was just a lot going on, and I think at some point they start to adjust, to adapt, and kind of get back to what they do best, and that's just play fast and free, and get some of those pucks to go in the back of the net.
Well, the other thing that is a bit concerning is just how well their goaltender is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, Carter Hart right now, there's no one playing better than Carter Hart right now.
And that's a fact.
And certainly no one in the Avs goaltending room. And, man, we've seen in the history of this sport, we've seen goaltenders just change the entire complexion of series. Even if the team on paper should not be in the fight or winning the fight, I just remember, a postseason, Jonathan Quick. It was just like no one could solve him. It didn't matter. Like no one could solve him. And I hope that's not what we're getting here with Carter Hart. But to act like that dynamic isn't like impossible, no, he's playing really, really, really good right now. Really good. This is Torts after the game.
I think he's grown so strong mentally. I don't think much bothers him. He is just zeroed in. And he's going to have to be, because we've got a little bit of work to do here.
And that's the right mindset for Tortorella.
Oh yeah.
But if there's another soft goal tomorrow night, or I am so convinced the Avs are winning tomorrow night. Like I'm so convinced.
Oh, the Avs are winning tomorrow night. They have no choice.
With or without Kale.
Yes, they have no choice. You have to go ball to the wall. You're not going to wait until the third period to turn it right back on. You have to be going all out all night, and they will.
But that said, if there's another soft goal, whether tomorrow night or in Game 3, if there's another soft goal, and on the opposite end of the ice, Carter Hart is a wall, this could become problematic in a way that we did not. Not that we did not take Vegas lightly. That's
no.
We talked about the number of Stanley Cup champions, and Tortorella, like a lot of respect for that guy. He's been around forever. He's hoisted a cup along with the 12 other guys on their club that have had that honor before as well. But at the same time, I don't know. I just it's the stress of Kale. It's the stress of a hot goaltender. It's the stress of the past. It's the stress of this specific matchup. All of it.
It's the stress of our goaltender,
right,
giving up that soft goal.
Right.
It's like, come on, that can't happen again. And he knows that, and we all know that. But it's right there in the back of his mind, in our mind, because he's never done something like this before. He hasn't been this deep, and we're talking about Scott Wedgwood. Wedgie hasn't been this deep where we're relying on him to make some huge saves, and at one point, steal a game. I would love to see him steal a game. He may need to in this series.
He may need to.
And that's a scary part.
All right. Well, and someone on the RamosLaw.com text line, and you guys tell me if you saw this, because we were at the game. We didn't see the TV copy. Someone said that Bednar's pregame speech, they played it on TV, and that he literally said, play as fast as you can with and without the puck. And, the listener says they're about as flat could be, minus the first couple minutes. I didn't see that. It's hard to explain the lack of energy. It's just hard to explain. The lack of execution, right? And Bednar talked about that after the game as well.
Even at times, like good decisions, good puck decisions tonight were misexecuted and led to some trouble against in all three zones. And then some of our decisions, it just looked like we weren't seeing it quick enough. Like we had some open men a couple times and we tried to do something else. And it wasn't necessarily more fancy. It was just not the right decision at the right time.
They did generate some quality looks, some high danger chances. There was a lot of just missing the net. honestly, like double-digit shot attempts that just missed the entire net. Brock Nelson, dude, like on that initial goal, Brock Nelson, it becomes 1-0 because Brock Nelson, it happened right in front of us. He just fell. And honestly, that was a theme throughout the evening last night. And I don't know if it's their skates or the ice or what have you, but man, it feels like we saw double-digit guys just come off of their feet that hurt both Colorado and Vegas.
Well, our news guy, Drew, I was talking to him about it today before we started the show. He said it's because of the humidity that's been here with Colorado. Like, that's what he is saying.
Interesting.
And, yeah, so I was like, okay, I didn't think of it like that. But he said, yeah, the ice is just bad. So that's no excuse because everybody has to play on that ice. Everybody has fallen, but you're right. Brock Nelson misses that goal completely or the shot completely and then falls, and it leads to a goal, man.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
No, and Brock Nelson, he's kind of been one of the poster childs of where are you?
Yes.
Like, we need you. Where are you?
Brock Nelson missing. We need you. Let's find him. He needs to get going.
It was good to see Val, and what a sexy goal that was. I mean, that was so impressive.
Beautiful setup.
Redirecting that puck with the stick between his legs, that was elite. McKinnon's move in the third period. I mean, you and I were...
Yeah, my ankles hurt.
Like, our jaws were on the floor watching McKinnon create that space for himself and somehow feed that puck to Landy. And things got real interesting until they didn't. But honestly, I have to mention this too. Not to sensationalize it or misrepresent it to the degree that it's like something that it's really not. But watching Kadri get beat to and Taser was there with him.
Yeah.
But Kadri, I think it was more egregious. Watching those guys get beat to that puck that was the final nail in the coffin on the empty netter, you could tell me it was academic at that point, but we just saw this team with the goalie pulled in Game 5 against the Wild even things up and win the game. So, like, anything, it shouldn't have came down to that.
No.
But anything still could have happened there. That was disappointing. And in some ways, that was a microcosm of some of the flatness that we saw that represented, in that instance, a larger issue that persisted throughout the night.
And I don't want to pick on the oldest man on the ice, but Brent Burns, he wasn't at his best either. There was a couple times where he was a step behind, or it's like, Burns, what are you doing? You have to pick a guy, force them to make a decision. Instead, Burns is skating back and gives up a goal because he's not doing his part as a defender. So it's like, if you're going to be on that ice, and Burns has struggled. All right, he struggled against the Kings. He looked better against the Wild, and now he struggled in Game 1 against the Knights. And so he's going to have to do better, especially if somebody like Hill is not available for Game 2. Everybody's going to have to pick up the pace, pick up the pieces. Brent Burns is one of them, man.
Man, so many missed opportunities. And what comes to mind is that Logan O'Connor. Oh, my gosh.
LOC.
Oh, my gosh. On the play where he was upended and banged it off the post, it's a what could have been. Does the entire complexion of the game change if that finds the back of the net? On the power play at the end of the first period, that Gabe feed to Kadri, open net on the left side, and he held it on his stick for just too long. That needs to be a one-timer. And again, far be it from me to tell Kadri, but with the benefit of hindsight, like if that's one-timed, you don't allow Hart the time to get back over. And Hart made a great play, but it was more of a snapshot than a one-timer.
Well, that's what Betsy was also saying, like where he was like, hey, we were playing slow. We were not making some of the right decisions. All right, like something like that where you should have a one-time shot for Kadri and he doesn't take advantage of it. Things like that have to change, and they know it. They know it better than we do.
Of course. There was a 3-on-2 in the second, I believe it was, where Lecky just is overpassing it. He passed it to Nelson. Nelson gave it back to him, and instead of trying to shoot it, he's trying to feed it to Jack Drury, across the crease pass. And I'm just like, man, you're just getting too
much
cute here. A lot of missed opportunities, man. Nate shook free for a high danger chance that he shot wide of the net. I mean,
but think about it, Z. You just explained a lot there, and they didn't execute it enough to have the puck go in the back of the net. And if they did that at least one more time, hell, we're sitting here talking about a victory. Instead, we're not.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Man, oh man, oh man. Okay. Summer's calling. We're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, a pop-up tent, a Bluetooth speaker, and a $250 gift card. Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. All right, we'll check in on the NBA Western Conference Finals that took place last night, peek ahead to the Eastern Finals tonight, and also something happened last night in that arena that it just freaks me the hell out. We'll get to all of it in the 3 count next.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. We'll see you at the lake. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about. Make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan.
Here's something most window companies won't tell you. The window is only part of it. In Colorado, a well-built window can still fail if the installation isn't right. That's the part that determines what actually lasts. I trust Gravina's Window Center of Littleton because that's where the conversation starts. 50-plus years serving Denver, Colorado, and the Front Range. Right now, 25% off Infinity by Marvin Windows. Check them out at windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Hey, Stoke here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Summer is coming in hot. Don't wait. Beat the rush with an early bird cooling system tune-up and inspection for only $49 from Rocks Heating and Air. They'll inspect your system and keep you cool when everyone else is scrambling. Call ROX Rocks Heating and Air today and schedule your tune-up before the end of May. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX rocks. heating and air.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver!
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it! All righty. It's the 3 count, brought to you by our friends at Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts. All right, so a handful of things here. While the Avs are in the middle of this series, or just beginning this series, how about this? Former Av Eric Johnson went on the Pat McAfee show and shared his hot take that either Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews will be on the Minnesota Wild in the very near future. Holy smokes. So things could get even tougher around here if the Avs are unable to capture their second Stanley Cup of this era of Avs hockey.
It's going to feel like the Nuggets. It's going to feel like the Nuggets if they can't capture this one, right? Where you have a chance to win a cup. We're sitting here saying cup or bust, and then teams around you are getting better. They get another star, a superstar, and then it's like, now what? What's going to happen then? So, and EJ's not going to just say it just to say it. He has some information now.
There's some sort of whisper behind the scenes for sure. We'll see about that in time. First things first, let's go win the Western Conference Finals and go to the Stanley Cup.
Let's go do it.
And if the Avs are able to do that, they get the winner of the Hurricanes-Canadiens series that starts tonight. All right? The Hurricanes are 8-0. That is hard to believe. They have the longest layoff from the completion of their second round to the following round, the longest layoff in 107 years.
107?
Correct. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
That is nuts. So the Hurricanes are right now on a very historical path. I don't know if they're going to be able to roll through a team like Montreal the way that they did in the first 2 rounds. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there this evening. And then one more just thought from last night.
Yeah.
And I know I know how I'm going to sound right now.
Get it off your chest, see? Give it off your chest.
I know I'm going to sound old and paranoid, but I just have to be myself, okay? Last night, they took Bernie the mascot, and they strapped him up and pulled him to the top of Ball Arena. Dear Mother of God, we are begging for something cataclysmic to take place when we're doing this stuff.
Well, something almost happened, right?
Dude.
With the Nuggets mascot.
Rocky years ago, yes, was trying to come down from the ceiling and was unconscious, passed out.
Yeah.
And he was limp. Dangling in the air. And so you've already had something like that happen, and I will admit, at the core of this, it goes back to a childhood memory of Owen Hart, Bret Hart's brother. And I've been joking around saying, Bret the Hitman Kulak.
Yeah.
Right? That comes from Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret had a brother, Owen Hart, who wrestled for many years. He was so talented, and he was, just on the main stage for probably 15 years. And they tried to bring him from the ceiling in Kansas City. And he was supposed to drop down. And they had a malfunction.
And it kept going, right?
Phil, he fell from the ceiling of the arena, and his body hit the turnbuckle so hard that people in the stands assumed that it was a rubber body because the way that it folded in half. Whoa. And he died in front of everyone.
Damn.
And so when I see this stuff, like the upside is you're going to lift Bernie. You're going to lift Bernie up, right?
Yeah, not Bernie.
The upside is everyone goes, Bernie goes to the ceiling. And then 5 seconds later, you move on. The downside is Bernie goes down.
Bernie's not coming back.
and 19,000 people are scarred for the rest of their life. I know I'm in the minority. I know I sound old. I know I sound
all
paranoid.
Those little kids.
Brother.
All of them.
Let's keep Bernie on the ground.
Hashtag keep Bernie on the damn ground.
I just don't like it. And I swear to God, when I was younger, this stuff never bothered me. And the older I get,
you get older, but you have kids.
Yes.
You're always telling them no, and you're thinking about what could happen if this goes wrong for them. It's no, we're not gonna do that.
Is my son gonna watch Bernie splatter on the ice? I think we can go without it. I just think we can go without it. That's all. That's all.
Bernie, ground now.
That's
Feet
all.
on ground.
I'm probably in the minority. I know that I am, but I have to get that off my chest. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
All right, the Thunder even the series with the Spurs last night, 122-113.
Yep.
But the bigger story, man, this is nuts. Hamstrings right now in professional basketball, it's an epidemic right now. It's an epidemic. And we obviously lived through it here in Denver with Aaron Gordon and with Payton Watson, and it really impacted the Denver Nuggets season. We've seen it all around the NBA. Dante's team, Jalen Green, they just hamstrings. It's awful. And so last night you have Jalen Williams, all right, who's their second best player, who's an all-NBA player, who has missed most of the season with a right hamstring. And now he's got the compensation. Popped left hamstring. And then on the other side of it, Dylan Harper, who is an absolute stud and a star that is like starburst right now, forming, it's happening right in front of us.
And he's filling in. He's a backup right now to De'Aaron Fox.
Correct. And he leaves with a hamstring and is going to get an MRI. I don't know what is making this era of NBA basketball unique to this topic, but it is rampant.
They're just too damn fast, see? Usually, the basketball players, they're long, and they go down the court, but all of a sudden, these guys are 6'8", but running like running backs. What are they drinking? What are they eating? Because I need some of that. I'm going to give it to my kid. So he's 8 foot. All right, just a machine. That's what I need. But yeah, Z, I don't know. It's just the year of the hamstrings.
It really is, man. It really is. It's I can't make heads and tails of it. I really can't. I can't. And then Dante, who else got hurt last night in the Thunder game?
A.J. Mitchell, who's the replacement for Jalen Williams.
Right, and he has really ascended this year.
He's been having an incredible series. A lot of people are thinking that they could flip him in the offseason for whatever they need to, for Giannis or whatever it might be. Obviously not trade up, but yeah, so both backups to Jalen Williams and De'Aaron Fox might also be in question for Game 3.
Holy smokes. Both teams going through it, man.
Testing that depth.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, after parting ways with Jason Kidd, Kyrie Irving is the lone major piece left over from the Mark Cuban era down there in Dallas. Irving is supposed to be available this offseason via trade. Would you have any interest in going down the Kyrie Irving path?
You know what, Z? Yes, I would. I would be okay with bringing in Kyrie Irving because we need a point guard. Let's just say we're going to get rid of Jamal Murray for somebody else, not Kyrie Irving,
Sure.
but like you find a way to get Kyrie Irving in the building. Great ball handler.
I mean, arguably the best ball handling player of all time.
And he's going to make sure he's getting Jokic involved. He's going to help space that court out. Yes, you need a guy that can take control at that point. I would love for Kyrie to be there if he can be healthy.
Yeah, and this may be a little fantasy basketball because I don't know what they'd be looking for in return for Kyrie Irving. But yeah, I too would be interested. You get shooting, you get ball creation. Kyrie Irving really has laid low here for years now, and it was too much noise around Kyrie for a while there. But it's also been a while since any of that stuff has crept up. So we'll see. We will see. And if you say absolutely not, you want to play him? Because Minnesota is allegedly one of the teams that could be in on Kyrie Irving. So
come on.
We'll see what that looks like moving forward. We'll get back to Avs here right at the top of the hour. Before we do that, Bleacher Report, speaking of hoops, ranked the 10 most realistic trade targets in the NBA, and there is a foundational Denver Nugget on the list. We'll get to it next.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
If you're over 50 years old and carrying credit card debt, you could be paying on that for the rest of your life. Everything is more expensive, and you're spending more on the things you buy every day. But your home's equity could finally give you some breathing room. American Financing is a family-owned mortgage lender. No judgment, no pressure, just salary-based mortgage consultants who are here to help. With a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments, and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Their average customer saves $800 a month. That's a real relief. They'll help you declutter your bills into one manageable payment. Give your paycheck a raise by lowering your debt obligations and help you end the cycle of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Guys, there's no upfront fees and there's no obligation. Consolidate, collaborate, conquer. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
Landscape your yard with 100% natural Permagreen shredded red cedar or Permagreen gorilla hair. These products aren't dyed or treated, so you can safely use them anywhere in your yard. Buy these and other Permagreen products wherever better things are sold.
Brandon Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Hey Glenn, how many times can you say Denver Roof Pros in 4 seconds?
Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros, Denver Roof Pros.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question. And if you're ready for all that, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers. Located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Dental phobia? Consider sedation dentistry with Clarkson Dental. Their highly trained team will lead you through an exceptional dental experience, from that first fearful call all the way through to aftercare. Call the most experienced sedation dentist and staff. Clarkson Dental, coloradosedation.com.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
She's got a knack for hurting me. Is it the words she says? The only thing that keeps me here are her eyes in the morning. Well, I've packed my things 1,000 times. Oh, and I've faked believe all her lies for the last time. The other day I drew myself a map.
All right, Bleacher Report ranking the 10 most realistic trades in the NBA. And there's a foundational nugget on the list.
Just one of them.
Just one of them.
Just one.
Just one. And this is just one list.
Yeah.
This is just one list from Bleacher Report.
It's only the beginning.
Yeah, and we will, because we haven't really done the whole, hey, let's examine specific trades for these nuggets. We haven't done that yet. We will get into some of those conversations very soon. But before we do, I just wanted to mention this one because, you know, if this happens, I know just how many people in Denver, Colorado will be heartbroken. So I'm reading this article from Bleacher Report, the 10 most realistic trade targets. Number 10, Andrew Wiggins down there with the Miami Heat. The Nuggets actually could use someone like an Andrew Wiggins. Length, athleticism, defense. Sabonis there in Sacramento. And rightfully so.
He's tough, man.
He is. He is. Tyler Hero is 8th on this list, also down there in Miami. Number 7 on this list, former Denver Nugget, Michael Porter Jr.
And PJ.
Yep, a player that could be ready to be a contributor on a winning team like he was here, but a team that is just stuck. Anthony Davis is number 6 on this list. They're in Washington. I am fully expecting him to be traded. But number 5 on this list from Bleacher Report, ranking the 10 most realistic trade targets, is a man known by some in Nuggets Nation as Mr. Nugget. And that's Aaron Gordon.
AG.
And here's what they say. And you can decide for yourself if you believe this little blurb that they said. Quote, the Nuggets will do what they can to keep Gordon around. It may not be enough. Denver's roster has grown top-heavy and cost-prohibitive. A painful sacrifice of the versatile swingman might wind up being the best hope for balancing things out. The Nuggets would need, quote, quite the offer, end quote, to let him go, per Clutch Point's Brett Siegel, but they could elicit that kind of interest. Gordon is the kind of super high-impact support piece that almost feels foundational. He's one of the most versatile defenders in the league, and he is a dynamic play finisher who can make smart, simple, and connective passes. Just about any kind of roster would be better with Gordon on it, including Denver. And they finish up by saying, but with the Nuggets lacking flexibility and needing depth, and Gordon being set to start his 3-year, $104 million extension next season, the door could be ajar for someone to tempt this front office with a Godfather offer, end quote. And a Godfather offer, that goes back to the movie Godfather.
Yeah, please explain that. A Godfather offer.
An offer that you can't refuse.
Okay.
It's an offer that you can't refuse. That's where I have the biggest issue with this sort of blurb from Bleacher Report. I'm not giving pushback or disagreeing with the idea that Aaron Gordon is a realistic trade target, because I think that he very well could be. But the idea that you're going to get an offer that you can't refuse to an aging 30-something-year-old now whose game is predicated off athleticism and who has not stayed healthy for years, hasn't played 16 consecutive games since they won the championship in any stretch of time. The fact that they believe that you could get an offer you can't refuse for Aaron Gordon, I just do not believe genuinely that an offer like that exists out there for AG.
Well, I know you said AG's game predicates on athletic ability, which it does and it has in the past. But haven't we seen a different version of AG where he's been able to shoot at a high level, and not just the jump shot, but specifically the three-point game? Something that you brought up, like, hey, Vince Carter's the only one that was able to shift his game from being so athletic, high-flying, then knew that at some point that was going to go away, that he was going to have to change his game up, was able to do it successfully. Well, AG has been able to do that successfully. I do agree with you on the other one, though, Z. He hasn't been able to stay healthy when it matters the most. All right, he stayed healthy all last year until the postseason. And then this year, he was not available during the regular season. I think he only played in 36 games, 38, but I want to say 36 games.
36, Your Honor.
Okay, so 36 games. And then he wasn't available when you needed him the most in the first round. So, like, you have to still take that into account when you're like, man, do you want to keep him around? Because if you do keep him around and the contract does kick in and he's not available again for you in the playoffs and the postseason, then what are we going to be saying? We're going to be frustrated. The front office is going to be frustrated. So the reason why I say it may still end up being the Godfather thing, like I said earlier, it's because he has changed his game up a little bit and he can shoot from the three-point line.
Yeah, and so that's a fair point, and I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that deserves to be mentioned when I just say, hey, his game's based off athleticism, and don't add that context that you just did. But here's what I'll say. The base of his pyramid, and when I say this, when I talk about my pyramid analogy that I've been using for years, I'm thinking of the old food pyramid, right? Where like the most important everyday stuff is at the bottom.
You ignore it all.
Your sugars are at the top, right? And it's like, hey, eat less of that, eat more of the.
They got the greens in the middle.
Yeah. And so the bottom of that pyramid is the most important. The bottom of Aaron Gordon's pyramid is a supreme athlete, a gifted athlete. That's why he was picked 4th overall in the NBA draft those years ago. Has he improved on those other things? Yes, he has. I mean, seriously, like it's really stuff of legend. The way that he's able to switch his game up, but it's not to the degree that if you said, okay, he can be on an NBA court at a plus level just with those attributes. Like the base of his pyramid is still who he is as a play finisher, a big physical defender. We saw him defend Wemby down the stretch of those games. And it's like, that is why you're a $100 million player. Not because you shoot 38, 39% from three. The fact that you do on top of that is what makes you one of the most unique players in the NBA. So both sides of the story, deserve to be told. This is real. I mean, this is realistic. It is. And I know for me, I am preparing myself for this to be a real possibility.
Well, we all know the band is not getting back together. The band is going to be broken up. All right, it could be AG. It could be Jamal Murray. Hell, it could be both of them. So I'm preparing myself for that. And if it is AG, it sucks, but that's part of being an athlete. You know, at some part or some point that your time is going to come up and you're either going to get shipped off or you're forced to retire. And this is kind of for AG. It's like you're going to have to probably get shipped off somewhere. Hopefully it's still at a contending team that has a bunch of vets that you can help out. And then you go from there. But, you know, it sucks as fans to see a great person and great player go, but also we got to get back to winning. We got to get back to knowing that we can still get to another championship for Jokic.
All right, what does recent history say about the exact position that the Colorado Avalanche find themselves in? We'll pass it along next.
Parents, looking for a fun way to get your kid active this summer?
Are you kidding me?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan's third annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp is back. Brought to you by Walmart. Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Your child ages 8 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of football in a safe, hands-on environment from people who played the game at the highest level. We're talking former Denver Broncos Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, and Brandon Stokely, along with a trusted coaching staff from Denver South. And every dollar raised goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado. So your family is giving back just by showing up. Sign up today at denversports.com/camp. That's denversports.com/camp.
Cracks in the drywall, water in the basement, concrete sinking or shifting? Guys, call Homestrong, the highest rated structural company in the state with more than 300 5-star Google reviews. They're family owned, 20 plus years of experience, and highly trained inspectors who start with a free inspection and quote. They handle foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, egress windows, concrete lifting, decorative concrete, and full basement conversions. Most work includes a lifetime transferable warranty. They also have financing options. If the work you need is at or below the ground, Homestrong is the best in town. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
The upgrade you've been dreaming of at a price you didn't expect. Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president and founder of Mountain High Appliance. This Memorial Day, get a 4-piece stainless kitchen for only $19.99. Get a GE front-load washer and dryer for only $15.98. Save $900. Or shop our clearance center and save up to 60%. Plus, we'll match any local competitor's price. The best service and the best prices. Why go anywhere else?
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hey guys, it's that time of year. Time to get your lawn in great shape for the season. And when it comes to healthier, greener grass, I know of no two better products than Rich Lawn Turf Food and Revive Ready Spray. Rich Lawn Turf Food is premium organic-based fertilizer that builds stronger soil and keeps your lawn lush and green longer. And you'll find Rich Lawn Turf Food along with Easy Green Grass Seed, Iron Rich for yellow lawns, and Go Rich organic-based garden fertilizer at the Home Depot or your local garden center. Then give your lawn a boost with Revive, the fast-acting, organic-based lawn treatment that helps create thicker, greener grass with deeper watering and deeper roots. Say goodbye to the backyard blues, guys. With Rich Lawn and Revive, your yard will be ready in no time. Find it at Home Depot or your local gardening center.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting for seriously injured car accident victims in Colorado. Serious accidents demand serious representation. We dig into every detail of your case, and we don't back down until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured in a car accident, call the Wilhite Law Firm today at 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com. That's 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com.
Hey, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors, your siding, windows, decking, and roofing specialist. During the month of May, 5280 Exteriors are offering you $1,000 off a new project. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Non-stop rodeo action at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Every ride and every run counts. It's sudden death. Move on or ride off into the sunset. Cheyenne Frontier Days, the wildest ride in the West.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
What does recent history say
I cut my teeth on one.
about the position the Avs are currently in? Oh, Phil.
They in a pickle.
Kinda. Kinda.
Game one.
It's just game one. It's just game one. But the recent history in this postseason, and I don't believe this is going to happen, but I wouldn't feel right not passing it along because it's information, right? We shouldn't be scared of information. I want to know the landscape that the Avs are up against.
Well, also, I want to know some history, too. Like,
sure.
Like, sometimes history repeats itself. So I want to make sure that I'm bracing myself or preparing myself if something bad does happen or good.
All right, so teams that win game one this postseason, you know what their record is?
What you got?
In those series, teams that win game one this postseason, they're 10-2.
10-2. Game one. Winning it.
Just the team that wins game one in this postseason for that series, they're 10-2. That is overwhelming.
Damn.
Yeah.
And like we're putting these stats out there, but just like in football, there would always be stats like that the coach is going to go through with you just so that you understand that, hey guys, like if we can get this first game, it will help us out. And so I guarantee Bednar went over it with his team. And for the Vegas Knights, Torts went over it with his team. Guys, it's so important to, one, take over home ice, but get game one under your belt and win that damn thing.
It's a big deal. And, like, again, is it a death sentence that you lost game one? Absolutely not. We both still believe that the Avs are going to win this series. I know they're going to win tomorrow night.
You're confident, aren't you?
I am very confident. And should they lose, it's tuna fish sandwiches for old ZB next week. Oh, I'm invested.
In the wife and kids.
I'm in it. Bologna is back on the menu, boys.
Bread and bologna.
And obviously, I'm kidding. But a little serious.
Yeah.
But it's real. And that 10-2 record for teams that win game one this postseason, that's for the crowd that says there's nothing to see here. And last night, it's nothing.
No, come on.
Like, it's not everything, but it's something. It's not nothing. And so there's that. What do you think your biggest takeaway of game one was?
I mean, biggest takeaway for me, Z, and it's right there. And I know somebody's going to say, come on, Phil, of course. But I'm going to say it anyway. All right. not having Kale hurt us badly. His presence alone. All right, and I'm going to give an example. The power play unit. One, I was surprised that Bet and I went out there with Devon Taves.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Malinsky. Malinsky is right-handed. Devon Taves is left-handed. It's just one of those things where Kel is right-handed, which helps out when it comes to getting to that left circle for Nate Dogg or Monty Netches, because those are those guys' homes, and they succeed when they're in that left circle. So they go with Devon Taves. But also, Devon Taves is out there as the point guard, right, as the quarterback. And if you notice, the defender sagged off him, wanting him to shoot, wanting him to be more aggressive. And Devon Taves was looking to always pass because his game is not to take those shots. That's Kale's game. And if you can have Kale in the mix again, it's going to force the Vegas defense on the power play to come up, and now there's more open shots, more space that's going to be there for Netches and for Nate Dogg and anybody else that's out there. So Kale is so important, not only just as a being on the blue line and playing defense, which we miss him too, but he's like that extra forward that generates the pressure that he can score at any given second, and also he's that point guard, the quarterback on the power play, which struggled last night.
It did. I want to put a pin in Kale briefly here. The Knights have now won 8 of their last 9 game ones. So what we saw last night is just kind of what they do. It's part of their DNA. For whatever reason, they have really owned these game ones. Now, it's also worth noting, the Knights have gone on to win 6 of the previous 7 series when they take a 1-0 lead. So there's real history here. And then we need to keep this in mind for tomorrow night as well. Vegas is now 6-1 in this postseason when they score the first goal.
Okay.
So, there's just layers to it.
There is.
There's just layers to it. They came out flat for whatever reason. I think I shouldn't even say they came out flat, because the first 4 or 5 minutes, it was electric. These guys were flying around, and then it just sort of tapered off. And for whatever reason, throughout the evening, they were flat. And the crowd, you and I were sitting there saying, this is almost, it got to a point where it was almost eerie. On the TV broadcast, Sean McDonough said at one point that you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild when I think of the atmosphere that is at Ball Arena for these big games for the Nuggets and Avs. That is the last kind of description that you would ever think for the Western Conference Finals, Game 1.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Why do you think they were so flat? Why do you think they weren't able to weather some of the storms and kind of keep things going consistently? Because they were flying around at the beginning of the game, and then all of a sudden it's like they got tired, or they just got, I'm not going to say bored, it just didn't go their way, and they were just kind of in a trance. So, why do you think they were flat?
I have 2 guesses, and I'm literally just guessing. The first, I think, is the more likely of the 2 that I'll throw out to you, is that it's just rust. We had the rest over rust conversation, and when you're in a rhythm of playing every other day, damn near, and then you take an entire week off, and I know that Vegas, they were well rested too. The Avs just had one more additional day than Vegas, but clearly Vegas handled it much better than the Avs, if that was the thing that was preventing that oomph, that lift, that jolt of energy, and these guys flying around. So that's the one thing. And we've talked about that rest versus rust conversation has been had for decades in sports. And I've heard guys that lived through these experiences. Working with Stoke for so many years, they would be the number 1 seed so often in Indianapolis, and then they're gonna rest you in week 17, and then you get the bye, and then it's like football feels unfamiliar at that level. So I don't know. I'm guessing. The other thing, and I hope this isn't the case, but the other thing is there was a lot on paper that said the Vegas Knights shouldn't even be here. That team won 39 games. And did they take them lightly? Did they think it was going to be easier? Did they look at their pillow fight path and say, we're going to obliterate these guys? We know that. And it just never came to fruition. I hope that's not the case. But to think that it couldn't would probably be a little bit naive. All right, all of the sudden, we are facing the biggest question in Denver sports, and we'll talk about it next.
It's the ultimate showdown for a great cause.
Setting up the ultimate gold medal showdown.
On June 11th, Brandon Stokely goes head-to-head with Zach Bai in 100 Holes for Kids. 100 holes of golf. It's a one-day event all to raise money for Recruiting Classroom, whose mission it is to help kids play sports. Who will raise the most? That's where you come in. Pick your player, make your donation, and help kids win. To support Brandon Stokely, head to StokelyCares.com. To support Zach Bai, head to ZachCares.com.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're a guy over 50 dealing with an enlarged prostate, you need to know about PAE, prostate artery embolization. It's minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're back home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatments with near zero impact on sexual function. Top-tier radiologists, boutique setting, personalized care in Lakewood. Go to coloradoae.com.
Who helps keep Colorado's wildlife wild? Our people do.
Hello, my name is Patricia. I've been with Chevron for over 17 years.
Her team uses GPS to track where mule deer and pronghorn roam throughout the seasons. This data helps us take their habitats into consideration when planning our operations.
When we created our comprehensive wildlife and conservation program, it was really about what was possible.
Learn more at colorado.chevron.com.
Let me tell you a story about a couple who felt like they were drowning. Credit cards, rising prices, and no room to breathe. They thought they'd be judged. Instead, American Financing showed them a way forward because they're family owned, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. Their salary-based mortgage consultants helped this couple look at their whole financial picture. With a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments. You may also close in as fast as 10 days. Their average customer is saving $800 a month. That kind of relief changes everything. Suddenly, they weren't financing their past. They were funding their future. One manageable payment, more cash flow, less stress, and no upfront fees, no obligation. Your story can change too. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
At AutoNation, there's no pressure, no surprises, just the keys. Now through Memorial Day, get 0% financing on your favorite new vehicles. You'll save thousands of dollars in interest alone. Drive the car you want today with 0% financing. Don't wait. Memorial Day savings end May 25th. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation dealership. Less stress, more go. Visit AutoNation.com for eligible vehicles. 0 APR for a limited term with approved credit. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. way. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
When you decide to sell your home, don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one. Go for a Weichert agent. A Weichert agent looks at you as a partner, not a transaction, and will work day and night to get you the results you're looking for. And your Weichert agent is backed by the Weichert brand. With over 50 years of experience, Weichert agents have guided thousands of buyers and sellers through every facet of home ownership. Don't settle for good, go for great. Work with a Weichert agent. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Your roof's the single most important part of your house. Snow and high winds can damage your roof. Don't trust your roof to any fly-by-night roofing companies. Call the professionals at Golden Spike for a free roof inspection and tell them you heard about it on The Fan. They're a locally owned company and a Team Dave Logan member.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
You're hearing this right now. So are your customers. That's radio. It still works. But your customers don't live in one place anymore. Tonight, they're streaming Denver's biggest game on their TV. Tomorrow, they're deep in the most popular podcast in the country. Next week, all three, all over again. We built one campaign that reaches them everywhere. Radio, streaming TV, podcasts, all under one roof, all measured, all working together. That's not a pitch, that's a system. DenverSports.com. Let's build yours.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All of a sudden, we have a massive question facing Denver sports. Man, oh man. Will Cale Makar play tomorrow night?
Never a dull moment, Z. Something's always happening.
Man, oh
Good,
man.
bad, indifferent. Something is happening.
Oh my gosh.
Now, talking about Cale. Is he going to be available?
Yeah, it's one of these things where we know Cale's importance. Like, no one needs to tell us the importance of Cale freaking Makar, one of the 5 best hockey players in the world, the best two-way defenseman walking this floating rock called Earth. He's going to break the record this offseason with his extension. I mean, it's going to be I think the number 1 right now in the NHL is oh my gosh, who's got the highest AAV in the NHL right now? And is it Kaprizov? Yeah, it's Kaprizov. Yeah, he broke the record. I think he's getting like, what is he getting, like 17? He's getting like 17 million a season.
Cale's gonna shatter that.
He's gonna shatter it.
Yeah, he is.
Because
I'm gonna be his agent too.
That'd be great.
4%, baby.
That'd be great. But it's one thing to understand his importance, and then it's another to actually live through a sequence where you feel the pain of not having him. And it's not my opinion that the Avs lost last night because Cale Makar wasn't there. Like, would he have impacted the game? Yeah, but Cale's not going to make up being down 3-0. No, hockey doesn't work like that. But man, and the analogy that I make is, you understand how important your wife or your mom, depending on who you are, is to your day-to-day household and all the stuff that they do that you see and the stuff that you don't see, you understand it. But then when they leave for a week and actually living through what it's like to not have them around, it hits a different way, and that's kind of how I felt last night.
We need our wives. We need our wives. They do a lot for us. We need our parents. They do a lot for us. Your mom, your dad, if you have both of them in your life. So, yeah, I look at it as well as, like, if it's a body part. Kel's a big-time body part that you need. You need your shoulders. You need your hands. You need your knees if you're playing these sports. And if you're hurt, all right, let's say Kel's the left knee, and you're hurt, all right, you can't play. And then you start to miss it. You start to miss the game. You start to say, damn, I wish I could just walk. Not even just play, just walk.
Right.
Little things start to matter to you. Like, I wish I could just bend my knee.
Sure.
But you can't because you're dealing with the injury. So for Kel, he is so important. And I think now all of us are like, okay, this is why. We just like with Jokic, you could take it for granted. Sometimes with Kel and Nate Dogg, you could take it for granted because they're always available.
So true.
Well, for Kel, he wasn't available last night. And like you said earlier, and I'm with you on it, Z, I agree with you for the first time, is the Avs still should have been able to win that game without Kel. But Kel matters because he does a lot. Two-way player, not just on the blue line. All right, the power play and what he brings to the special team unit. And offensively, when it comes to just being another forward that can generate points and explosiveness, that's Kel for you.
There's no doubt about it, man. And we know Mark Stone's out for the Avs. This isn't a sob story.
No.
This is not a sob story, but it is an impactful story. And I think that Kel, for everything that you just described, his importance, I think it's the closest thing in hockey that you can find to an NFL quarterback. Where it's just like he does so much. He's touching the ball on every single play, and what Kel does on both ends of the ice, it's just incredibly unique. He's such a rare talent that, draw comparisons to Bobby Orr. I mean, that's how far we go back to try to find Kel comps. Can the Avs win the series without Cale Makar?
I want to say yes, Z. They should be able to. They better be able to because they are deep. And it's not just the pairings. All right, we know that the pairings are banged up and they're kind of light, but it's the firepower. Netches, Nate Dogg, Gabe is healthy. Okay, Lecky is healthy. Like, these guys have to step up, all right, and be able to generate some more shots on goal, high danger chances. They have the opportunity, and they did last night. What am I talking about? They did last night. The puck just did not go in the back of the net. And so if you can get some of those plays, and you've listed a couple at the beginning of the show to go through for you, and you could break through, you win the game last night. So yes, Z, they still should be able to beat the Vegas Knights without Kel.
And then, so I agree with you. They should have been able to win last night, and they should be able to win this series on paper. The Avs are that deep, but it just didn't materialize last night. It just didn't. This was Bednar after the game talking about missing Kel.
He's an important player, right? And he plays a lot. And some of the areas that we struggled with tonight, those are his strengths, right? So, yeah, I mean, it affects. He's out there a lot with the McKinnon line. There's definitely, a trickle-down effect to that.
The good news is that Kel was with the team in team skate today in a way that he has been absent here within the last week. He looks great from the lower half of his body standpoint. We know he's been dealing with a hip. We saw that really come to light in Game 5 when he struggled to get to the bench. And then there's the second issue with his shoulder. And so you're not going to be able to see on some 20-second video of him at practice flying around. You're not going to be able to see how his, whatever he's dealing with, AC joint, collarbone, whatever, we're not going to be able to see what it looks like, him reacting to getting smashed into the boards. Someone taking a jab at that shoulder in a scrum after the whistle that happens, 10 times a night. We just don't know. What I think I know is that for Kel to leave a playoff game in Game 5 last week and for him to not be available in the Western Conference Finals, to miss a postseason game for the first time in his career because of injury, it's just not going to be 100% 48 hours later. It's just not.
It's not going to be 100% for the rest of this series, the next series, because I do believe the Avs are still going to win. But Kel's going to be banged up, but he will be out there for his team. The pressure is on Kel. The pressure is on the Avs. So Kel will be available, I'm believing, tomorrow.
I want to pass something along here in just a second, but first, it's the ultimate showdown for a great cause. On June 11th, Stokely is going head-to-head with myself for another year of 100 holes of golf for kids, all right? 100 holes of golf in one day, all to raise money for Recruiting Classroom, whose mission is to keep kids playing sports. All right, who will raise the most? That's where you guys come in. Pick a player. All right, this is a great cause for our community. You can make your donation and help kids win. All right, to support Stoke, you can head to StokeleyCares.com. To support myself, head to ZachCares.com and help kids win. All right, so real quick, I have to pass something along that I can't believe is a real story. It's really unfortunate, and we'll give you the details that we have coming up next.
You asked for it, you got it. Backed by popular demand, it's the Drives Brouhaha.
Big social brouhaha.
This spring, Zach and Phil are back on the road, bringing their party to you. First stop, the Golden Triangle in Denver. May 22nd from 2 to 6 at Schoolyard Beer Garden.
There was quite a brouhaha.
Come find out what the commotion's all about. Head to DenverSports.com/drive for more details.
Guaranteed to bring the brouhaha.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Cecil Lammy here for my friends at SodaDietNutrition.com. Now, 5 years ago, I lost 60 pounds because of soda, and I'm never going back. I've never gained the weight back. I never will, because SodaDietNutrition.com, they taught me how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. It's simply magnificent. I want you to call them up, 866-800-SODA, where you can join soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Soda weight loss is now SodaDietNutrition.com, and you've got to have these guys on your side, because the weight loss journey, it can be tough. There can be struggles. Having a real nutritionist there available via text to help you out with any sort of questions, concerns, sometimes it's just straight up encouragement. It's SodaDietNutrition.com, and there's no mystery pills, mystery injections, any mystery chemicals you're putting in your body. You're doing it the right way. Learn how. Join the program. SodaDietNutrition.com, 866-800-SODA, because SOTA is, say it with me, state of the art.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. Is your car making a weird noise and you're not sure what exactly is going on? All Points Automotive makes it easy for you. Free diagnostics and estimates from a 100% mobile mechanic who comes to you. To book your appointment, visit allpoints-automotive.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567. 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
At some point, you stop calling it pain and start calling it just how I am now. And that's not okay. And deep down, you know it. I'd love to lead you back to the normal you, the one who is active and carefree. So let's get started now with an introduction to the medical team at QC Kinetics and their long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain. They're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulder, hips, and lower back. And now they're moving, sleeping, golfing, running without surgery or long recoveries. The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body already knows how to heal. QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. No operating room, no hardware, no watching summer come and go from a recliner. And now's the time, because the longer inflammation sits, the more damage it does. So this isn't a I'll get around to it situation. Right now is the right time, and the first step doesn't cost you a thing. QC Kinetics, better starts here. Schedule your free consultation by calling 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986 with locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and the Springs. It is QC Kinetics.
Join Will Peterson after every hockey playoff game live from the ice. Brought to you by Smart Local 9. The Denver Sports Team breaks down the sights, sounds, and emotions of every goal. Exclusively online across Denver Sports socials.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. General contractors, are you tired of working with 8 different subs for a single project? Homestrong is the answer. Their crews handle excavation, foundations, waterproofing, crawl spaces, and flat work. Visit buildhomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
How about 60 seconds that'll make you actually feel good for a change? Hey, Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. You've heard me talk about the best free meal in Denver. And I had some listeners that had heard me talk about how I used to love to make brisket, but with outrageous beef prices, we just couldn't afford to do it anymore. We can't afford to feed that many people. Well, a guy, Barbecue Bob, showed up to one of our first and third Thursdays with a couple $1,000s of brisket so he could just help people. We're going to make free brisket here coming up in the next couple months for our best free meal in Denver. And then another guy, Fred, who runs the Ace Hardwares over on Gartrell Road and Arapahoe Crossing. He said, from now on, all your fuel you need for that barbecue is on me. And another guy, Bobby Hancock from IHOP. He fed our volunteers and gave thousands of dollars worth of gift certificates to our people that take advantage of the best free meal in Denver. If you want to help, you can. Just spread the word. It's the best free meal in Denver every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. It's at Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road. And if you have any questions, just call us at 303-LAW-4040.
The Red Clay Strays return to the Frontier Night stage with Wyatt Flores. July 19th, Cheyenne Frontier Days, CFDrodeo.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, appreciate you guys hanging out here on a Thursday, bottom half of hour number 3. Show is flying by here.
Who's DJing today? It can't be DG.
This is your boy.
Oh, ZB.
Actually, people on the text the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043, pointing out, hey, I'm loving all this new music. So I've told you guys that I do, and for many years we've done this Friday night dance party at our house.
Yeah, I love it.
No screens, music only, and it's just embedded in our kids' brains that this is what we do. That's all they know. And so for the past 3 or 4 Fridays, whenever a song pops up that I really like, I've been going on YouTube, getting a link, sending it to Drew, and then he's apparently put it all in the system at the same time. So that's what you're hearing
Well,
here.
I had one song, but DG, I don't think I'm big time enough. Oh, you got me now. You got me. You damn right you got me.
Wait, what?
I got you, Phil. I'll throw it in there. I have
All
not
right.
done it yet, but I will get around to it.
All right. That's Drew doing his job, Dante not doing his
Again.
job.
ZB, you want to see me not do my job?
Yeah, DG.
All right. Threats. We're doing threats
Yeah,
here.
now, I guess so.
Threats on a Thursday. A Threat Thursday, if you will. Hey, I got to pass this along, and I wish I didn't. And I can't believe this is a real story, but NASCAR icon Kyle Busch, a two-time Cup Series champion who won more races across the sport's 3 national series than any other driver in history. He has somehow passed away at the age of 41. We just found out here within the last hour. Apparently, he was hospitalized as a result of a severe illness 3 days before he was to compete at the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I saw the story that he wasn't going to race. It was on ESPN.com, and he's passed just like that at 41 years old. And he ranked 24th in the Cup Series standing this season. 2 top 10 finishes. All that doesn't even matter now.
No.
This guy was a legend, and you can picture him in his yellow head to toe M&M, fire suit and that yellow car. He was one of NASCAR's most polarizing personalities. He won 234 races across the sport's 3 national series. Like I said, more than any other driver. 63 Cup Series races he won, including the Coca-Cola 600 that he just missed here back in 2018. 2-decade career. I'm not the biggest NASCAR guy. I'm not going to claim to say I sit down and watch NASCAR races, but that's why like the fact that I know Kyle Busch and this level of success that he had and that suit and that car, just really, really unfortunate.
No, it really is. And you went through all the stats, but like you said, none of it matters now. All right, it sucks that this man is gone at 41 years old. 41 years old. I guarantee he has a family, a wife, some kids.
Yep.
And so now they have to deal with that. They have to deal with their daddy not being there, their daddy not being, if one of these kids isn't married yet, her or his dad's not going to be able to walk him through the aisle.
Right.
All right, he's not going to be able to do a lot of stuff that you wish you could do with your father, or if, someone lost their mother. So it's hard. It's hard when you start having people die, especially at 40, in the 40s. We had Adam Mustang-Tiger yesterday that passed away at 43.
You just pulled the thought from my head that you're just going on and you're living your life and you're a dad and you're a husband and you love your job and just life is good, and then something's off and then you're in the hospital and then you're gone.
Not there.
That is just impossible to reconcile. Crazy. It's just one of these things that's completely unforeseen, on no one's radar, and next thing you know, you're gone. Life is fickle and can be really cruel in this case, or in Adam Mustang-Tiger's case. And if you didn't, we're sort of throwing his name around, Adam Mustang-Tiger, long-standing writer up in Boulder.
Yeah.
And we just lost him this week. He was on the show here within the last 6 months. Probably had him on the show 6-10 times in my 9 years here behind this microphone. And you knew him personally.
Yeah, personally, that was the first guy, reporter, that talked to me when I committed to the University of Colorado. So I had a great relationship with Adam. And I even went on his podcast about 3 months ago. And I didn't know he was dealing with this. That he was dealing with something like this earlier, was in the hospital, and then was able to recover a little bit, get out of the hospital, and then he's back in there, and he passed away, I want to say yesterday or the day before that.
Yeah, within the last 48 hours or so. Yeah, man, it's just one of these things where no one did anything wrong.
No.
It's just sometimes life is just cruel. And then so how do you react? I think it's just a sobering reminder that tomorrow is no guarantee. Next week is no birthright. And just squeeze your little ones and call your mom. If you have grandparents, call them. Yeah. All right. Tough transition. But I wanted to pass that along because that's going to be the biggest story in sports today, as you'll see here over the coming hours. Okay, the Golden Knights of Las Vegas came into the Avs castle and drew first blood. What were the guys saying after the game? You'll hear from Landy and McKinnon coming up next.
The comeback magic almost struck again for the Colorado Avalanche, but this time they ran out of time. After clawing back late, Colorado fell just short as the Vegas Golden Knights held on for the Game 1 win in the Western Conference Final. Vegas grabs the early 1-0 series lead. Now the Avs look to respond Friday night. Don't miss the breakdown, reaction, and what Colorado must fix before Game 2. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I'm Rob Wilhite. For almost 50 years, Colorado has trusted the Wilhite Law Firm after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion recovered, we know how to win for our community. Injured? Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here, and you can get a richer looking lawn with Rich Lawn. Using the organic-based fertilizer Rich Lawn Turf Food, you'll get greener grass and build your soil for a beautiful yard. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out Revive, the treatment to revitalize your lawn for deeper roots and deeper watering. Rich Lawn and Revive products are available at Home Depot or your local gardening center. With Rich Lawn and Revive products, you'll have your yard ready in no time.
This evening, you're different. Over the day, you meet people, you make decisions, you face challenges and made a mistake or two. Bit by bit, everything changed you. And you're better for it. This is Garrett Jamron. I'm part of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. Take a look at the enormous changes in our children. So many are graduating, not just from high school, but from pre, elementary, and junior high schools. Others from college. Still more from one job to another. Graduations are daily treasures because they change you, make you better. Each takes you into the next stage of your life. Why would Alpine Bank share this with you? Easy. We could talk about checking accounts, or we could talk about you. It wasn't a difficult choice.
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question. And if you're ready for all that, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers. Located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Hi, I'm Roxy Vendina, owner of Permagreen. Along with our superior line of garden product, we also package decorative bark, shredded red cedar, and the new premium Gorilla Hair. This year, choose Permagreen decorative bark products.
Now available at Home Depot, Lowe's, and wherever better garden products are sold.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle, but now I see the world perfectly near and far without any glasses thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Rolling downhill here on a Thursday. Trying to figure out so many things.
Look at me over here doing the salsa dance.
Yeah. This is a little bit of that Forrest Frank. Have you tried that out?
No, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, very unique. Very unique. Coming to Denver, sold out Ball Arena, I'm pretty sure already.
You got tickets?
No, but we will be there.
Okay.
For sure. Kids love that dude. Shifting gears here. We're going to hear from the fellas. All right. We have not played any audio yet today from the players themselves. This is Gabe Landeskog, the captain, who did score last night. All right. What a feed. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
And I know that they lost, but like, goodness gracious, that pass and really just the move to shed the defender and create that space to pass the puck perfectly, sitting there on the back door where it needed to be for Gabe was just, again, it's just like put it on the highlight reel.
See, the moment that Nate Dogg stopped on a dime, took like a little jab step like he was a running back, and then was able to find Gabe, his teammate, it was like, both of you and I said, damn, at the same time.
Yes.
My ankle still hurt.
Yes.
But it just shows you and tells you why Nathan McKinnon is so great. This is why he's great, because he's able to skate. He's able to maneuver his body. He has so much body control, and he has the awareness to find his teammates with clean assists that lead to goals.
Yeah, and Gabe, I'll say this too about Gabe ultimately scoring. He kind of got an assist from the Vegas stick.
Yeah.
That elevated the puck over the pads, because if you see the way that it came off his blade, that thing's going right into the pads of Hart, and probably needed to lift it up a little bit more, but he got the lift organically. The hockey gods rewarding Gabe for being Gabe. This was Landy after the game.
You want to take advantage of home ice advantage. That's as easy as that. But what's in the past is in the past. They win this one, and whether we won this one or they won this one, we're going to regroup the same, learn from it, see what we can do better, and get ready for game two.
Get ready for game two, learn from it. That was probably, like, even if they won, say they won 4-2, that would probably be, outside of the home ice stuff, that would probably be Landeskog's response anyway.
And honestly, Z, it should be everybody in that locker room's response. I always say one snap and clear. It does not matter whether you do great or you have a great play, you're still playing. If you have a great game and you guys win, the next game is around the corner, and everybody is waiting for you to fail so they can criticize you and talk about that game. And so for the Avs, this is what we're doing today. We're criticizing what the Colorado Avalanche put out there, and it wasn't good enough. But they know in that locker room, they got to stick together. It's one game. It's going to be a long series. Nate Dogg himself talked about it before the series even started.
He
that
did.
Hey, we're gearing up and we're thinking about this as it can go to a Game 7. Not saying it's going to go to a Game 7, but that's their mentality. That's their mindset. And so I'm not surprised that Gabe is saying it how he is. Yes, it sucks that they lost home ice advantage and they wanted to win that game. But what do they do about it now? You got to go back to the drawing board. You got to watch film, and you got to come out firing. Z, both you and I were in the building last night, and it was flat. It was a fast start. But then as the time went on, 4 minutes passed, it got flat, and then it didn't get going again until the third period. That can't happen if you want to beat the Vegas Knights.
No. And here was Nathan McKinnon after the game.
Yeah, we had chances. They didn't do a whole lot either. It was kind of a nothing game, and then they got a few goals. And really good team, obviously, but I thought we did a lot of damage to ourselves. Yeah, just guys kind of everywhere, execution, like I said, needs to be better, and obviously we're capable of being a lot better than that.
What is your confidence level for tomorrow night? 1 out of 10. 10 being you believe it with every piece of you, and you will get a tattoo if you're wrong.
Damn.
And 1 is you have zero belief at all.
I'm going to go with 8. You got to believe in your guys. All right, the Colorado Avalanche have been dominant all year. They've been resilient all year. They have the firepower to do it. Yes, they were missing Kale, and I do believe, and maybe you do too, Z, that Kale will be available for Game 2. So even if Kale is not 100%, which he will not be, it's his presence alone. All right, the Colorado Avalanche backs are against the wall. They lost home ice. They know they have to be able to go out there and get it back, tie it up 1-1. They're going to try to throw the first punch early, and they're going to be very aggressive throughout the periods. Not just the first period, but the first, second, and third. Wedgie is going to play better. He cannot give up another soft goal, and I can see the Colorado Avalanche winning Game 2. They need to. They must
it's a
win Game 2. Or if they get behind, it's going to be bad. It's hard to come back from a team that has done it before, like the Vegas Knights. There's 12 guys on the Vegas Knights that have won it all. They know what to expect. They know how to win, just like the Colorado Avalanche do.
Well, goodness gracious.
Man.
I cannot believe, I have to pinch myself a couple times here throughout the day that happened last night. Yep, it happened. They got outworked. They got out-executed, all right? That was a huge part of their problem. They had a lot of chances. And if you look at some of the numbers, it'll say, man, just like it was almost impossible that the Avs lost because some of the shot attempts and shots on goal, they're so overwhelmingly favoring Colorado. High danger chances. But especially with the shots and shots on goal, it felt like it was value over volume, for Vegas. And when the Avs made a mistake, they made them pay almost every time. It wasn't some dominant performance by Vegas, but they made them pay every single time Colorado made a mistake.
Okay, ZB. Game 2. How you feeling about it? All right, 10 being like, let's get that tattoo on your butt, or 1 meaning, hey, guys, I'm so scared that I'm going to go home and cuddle my little pillow because I know this is going to be bad. How you feeling?
Like Caleb Williams said, I want to go home and
that was bad.
Cuddle with my dog, cuddle with my puppy and watch a show.
Yeah,
after he lost a big game.
Cuddle your dog, but don't tell anybody. I'll watch you a show, but don't tell anybody.
I'm a 9.
A 9, okay.
Yeah, I'm a 9.
That confident, huh?
Yes. I just feel with everything in me, Avs take care of business in Game 2. I think you'll see a sense of urgency that is undeniable, and the Avs take care of business. They're not losing 2 in a row to that Vegas team. I refuse to believe that. Refuse to believe that.
That sounds like a guy that has some money on the line, man.
I do. I came home. I was like festering last night. It's just like so pissed off. And we had a RamosLaw.com texter saying, I wasted $500. I can't believe on this hockey team I sat there and watched 5 minutes of inspired hockey. I think it was Aaron who was on the RamosLaw.com text line, furious. And I get it. I mean, I came home and I was just shaking my head like, how did you not capitalize on this incredible opportunity and the fact that they were flat and got outworked for big chunks of the night? And I look at the empty net goal, honestly, and you can tell me it doesn't matter. It was already academic. I would say no. Did you watch Game 5? Like, when the Avs are playing a man up with a pulled goaltender, like, it still was in play. And the fact that they, Kadri and Taser, more Kadri, got outworked for that loose puck, that it was able to bang off the boards and it still came down.
Yep.
And I just, that sort of encapsulated some of the frustrations that I had throughout the night of losing these micro battles all around the ice, on the boards and half wall, in the corners, stuff like that. Not that it was a disaster, but Vegas earned that win. They earned that win. They were the better team last night. And so it is what it is. You got to rebound. No one's coming to save you. No one feels sorry for you.
Well, and also, Z, it seemed like they were not ready for the fight. And they were talking about the Colorado Avalanche. They were not really ready for the fight. And what I mean by that is the Vegas Knights in Torts, Coach Torts over there did a phenomenal job of game planning. They slowed the pace of the game down. All right, I feel like the Avs thought, okay, they're going to try to fight fire with fire. It's going to be a high-paced game. But what the Knights did pretty much is like watch film and say, okay, the Wild tried to do that. And they got burnt by trying to go pace for pace. Let's slow the game down like the Kings did. Let's force them to have these dirty goals, muck it up. And if they beat us that way, then they beat us that way. But let's play defense. And then, of course, they have enough firepower that on the outsides that they were able to generate those goals, the shots on goals, those high danger chances. And so I think that you're going to see an Avalanche team that's going to adjust, switch their fighting style, and say, okay, you guys are going to muck it up. You guys are going to be a little bit more slower pace. We're ready for that now.
Well, on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Hey, Zach, if the Avs lose this series, let's both get matching tattoos with the amount of money we lost in red with a negative symbol in front of it. Right now, my tattoo would be minus 500 in red ink.
Damn.
Dude. Well, hopefully you have it to lose. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose. It's entertainment. Don't get carried away with it. So I didn't go 10 out of 10. And the reason that listener's bringing it up, if you're just joining us, I said, hey, 1 out of 10, how confident are you for game 2? With 10 being you'd be willing to get a tat if they lost. I'm not there, but I'm at about a 9. I trust this group. I trust the heart of this group. I trust the grit of this group. I know there's another level of sandpaper that they can tap into. I know it. We did not see it last night, but I know it's there, and I think it reveals itself tomorrow. And if it doesn't, look,
then I'm going to be very concerned. Come on, Z. If you can't tap into something different, start generating those explosive plays, get back to what you do best, then when is it coming? This is home ice we're talking about. This is in front of all of us that are paying a lot of money to see the Avs win and dominate.
How much you pay for your ticket last night?
You don't have to know that. How much did you pay?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're right. How much did you pay for, Z?
I did not. I bought every other ticket. I've been to 3 games before last night. I paid every time. Last night was a very generous gift. Shout out
I appreciate
our guy
gift.
Jim Hoven
Yes.
over there from Ramos Law. Deserves a massive shout
And
out.
shout out for ZB for bringing me along, man. It was fun. It was fun being a sweet.
It was a
sweet
lot
life.
of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I just wish that I just wish that during the third period I didn't turn to you and say this is one of the more bizarre feels of a crowd for a magnitude of a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Sean McDonough on the broadcast is saying that you can hear a pin drop in Ball Arena, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys.
Come on. That is crazy. More from the RamosLaw.com text line. Couldn't tell who was worst last night. The Avs or the refs.
Here we go.
Well, so we're not going to make it about the refs, okay?
But
because look, you don't get down 3-0 because of officiating. But I have to get this thought out of my head, okay?
Get it out your system.
Okay, so Ross Colton gets the penalty, and I don't even remember who he punched at, okay? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. But he punches at a Knights player in front of the net, and they give him a roughing call. Okay. One, it's the playoffs. Stuff like that happens all the time. But my bigger issue is at the end of the first period, Nazem Kadri, you remember what happened at the end of the first period? There was a penalty, and they split it up between the end of the first period and the start of the second period, which I typically, just historically, I don't like. I don't like that setup. I like having the full 2 minutes in one chunk and try to set it up and build a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yes. But at the end of the period, as the horn was sounding, I believe it was McNabb, I want to say, who cocked back. And, I think it was Braden McNabb, cocked back and slammed Kadri right in the face, just punched him in the face. Kadri goes flying back. Now, Kadri tried to sell it a little bit. Okay?
As he should.
Okay.
A good actor.
But here's the thing. Like, that was right in front of the official. And so if you're not going to call that, like, I don't even care what approach that they take. You don't want to call that? Don't call it. It's the postseason. Perfect. You want to call that on Ross Colton? Okay, whatever. That's the framework of the game. Okay. But you can't have it both ways. You can't watch Nazem Kadri get punched in the face, and even with his acting job, because homeboy with the Vegas Knights was like academy, like
back.
Robert Redford, like levels of acting. And so you can't, like, this is my only problem is the consistency. Pick one of those, and that's how we're rocking that night. But you can't watch Nazem Kadri get punched in the face, and both guys are doing a little bit of acting. You can't have him get punched in the face right in front of you, not call that, when by the letter of the law, that is roughing, and then later in the game, call Ross Colton for a very similar sequence, and then they score on that. They scored on that.
Yeah.
And so, like, that actually impacted the game. I'm going to reemphasize, is officiating why the Avs lost? Definitely not.
Too many opportunities for the Avs that the Avs did not take advantage of. And the one that comes to mind is LOCs.
Yeah.
Right? He's wide open for a goal. It hits the bar and doesn't go in. And it's like, you got to have him. I understand that things like that happen, and it's hard to do, and it's easier said than done. But, man, when you're wide open for a shot and you can change the game by your goal, it has to go through. LOC, he has games like that, right? He's been able to have a couple games throughout his career where he just takes over a game. And it's man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's on the fourth line dominating. And to be honest with you, I thought the fourth line was the best line out there, which is also not a good sign. Your fourth line, who doesn't play a lot of minutes, should not be your best line by the end of that game. All right, we need more from the first and second line going into this second game.
Yeah, that top line needs to be better. I mean, Bednar was legitimately experimenting down the backstretch of that game. And so, look, and someone on the RamosLaw.com text line, spoken like a true Denver Bronco or Avs fan, blame the refs. We're not blaming the refs, but I do think it's fair to point out some inconsistencies, because as I said, I don't care how you want to call it. We like the amount of times that we've come in here over the years and blamed a win or a loss for any of the teams on officiating is zero. So, like, you're in the driver's seat of your own destiny. You lost on your home ice game one. But if you're going to talk about the game, and we've been talking about it for 3 hours, going on 4 hours now, this is actually the first time that we mentioned it in the last couple of minutes of hour number 3.
We don't like talking about the refs. We don't like to. But you had something on your mind. You had something that you wanted to get off your chest, which it makes sense. Call it both ways, ref, and we'll be just fine.
All right, this is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver, and KARSFM Laramie. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive, powered by Regen RX.
Woo!
All right.
Getting better at that. Building up a callus.
Yes.
Okay, conditioning yourself.
There is a lot of stuff to hit. There is no doubt. And before we jump back into our observations last night, is your child interested in picking up the game of football? Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan for our 3rd annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp, Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School, All-City Stadium. Children aged 8 to 14 can enjoy hands-on coaching from former Bronco players like Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, Brandon Stokely, as well as a staff of coaches from Denver South. All proceeds benefit Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado. For more information and to register your child, head to denversports.com/camp. Curiosity question, when the heck is Denver South going to retire the jersey of Phillip Lindsay?
Man, Z, I don't know. I've heard that they're talking about doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So hopefully it comes through. I'll be waiting until that day, right? I'll be waiting, and at the end of the day, if they don't want to do it, I guess it's not going to hurt my feelings. It is what it is, and I move on.
Well, it would kind of hurt mine.
Well,
I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, dude, like that jersey. You're in your 30s now. You're done playing. You're retired. That jersey needs to be retired.
Yeah, maybe I need to talk to somebody, but you shouldn't have to.
You
right?
shouldn't have to. Of course not.
You know, and that's the thing is like I'm not gonna sit there and try to ask or beg. Like it should be something that you want to do, right? Especially if somebody represents your school or your state, you definitely want them to be in there.
Of
so
course,
that you can say he went here.
Of course,
that's with anybody.
Of course. Dante, you got something there behind the glass?
No, I was saying if maybe you want to pull a Shadur Sanders and just have your dad get it done for you.
Oh, make daddy do everything, huh? My dad ain't doing that.
It's only a matter of time. All right, back to last night. Last night sucked.
Yeah.
It just did. And it wasn't just about the Avs losing. The game kind of sucked. Like, it just did. And there was this, like, heaviness that was, like, weighing over the crowd, and it was just not ideal on so many fronts. And you lose game one now, and teams that win game one this postseason, guys, they're 10-2 in those series. Like that makes me unsettled.
Say it again, please.
Teams that win game one this postseason, they're 10-2 in those series. The Golden Knights have now won 8 of their last 9 game ones. They've gone on to win 6 of the 7 previous 6 of the 7 previous series when taking a 1-0 lead like they have right now. They're also 6-1 in games this postseason when they score first. So let's keep that in our pocket for tomorrow night. It's a blow. It's not a death blow, but it was a gut punch. And the Avs have some stuff to figure out. And I am, if I'm just being real, there's a couple dynamics that have me, I would call, just unsettled today. Not freaking out, not panicking, but I am unsettled,
uncomfortable,
and stressed. Yeah, I am. And the dynamics are, what is the status of Cale for tomorrow? All right. And even if he plays, if he was hurt enough to leave a playoff game and he was hurt enough to not play in a Western Conference Finals game a week later, he's not going to magically get to 100%. So what version of that guy do we get tomorrow night if he does play? And if he does play, does he have some sort of setback being checked into the boards, into the glass, someone cheap shotting him after a whistle? Like, someone's bound to go there with him.
Now, do you believe Kel will play tomorrow?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So you believe it. I believe it as well. Like, I think even if Kel is not 50%, the man's going to be out there because he feels the pressure of his teammates saying, hey, we need you back. Pressure because when you're a competitor, you want to be out there. I'll never forget, and I've never been where Kel is or how great Kel is, so I can't even imagine what he's thinking right now. But for me, it's like I've been banged up and hurt, and I've had coaches press and force me to try to be out there. Now, nobody can force you to be out there, but they can get in your head. Hey, man, we really need you. How's it feeling? You know, what can you do? Even if you're out there for half the time, that would help us out. Your presence alone can help us out, and that's exactly what I feel like Kale's going to do. Just having Kale back out there is going to force the Vegas Knights to have to game plan towards him. All right, when they're on the special teams, on the power play, it's going to force the defenders to come up and guard Kale a little bit more aggressively than they did Taser. Why? Because we know Kale can shoot. We know Kale is a two-way player, and he can hurt you by shooting and scoring goals. So just having him out there is just it's gonna help the dynamic of the game when it comes to the Avalanche being more explosive.
Well, part of the reason that the Avs got in a hole is Scott Wedgwood gave up a very soft goal. That's the way it is. We all love Wedgwood. It can't happen. That goal cannot happen. And unfortunately, it started with Brock Nelson just falling on the opposite end of the ice. And he wasn't the only one. He was not the only one. Guys were coming off of their skates left and right.
Looking like me out there.
I'm telling you, like a baby Bambi. And so Brock Nelson goes down, and then next thing you know, Coughlin, right? He comes right down Main Street and goes 5-hole and scores his. That's an AHL player.
Yeah.
That's an AHL player.
I think he has like 7 goals this year.
He's,
7.
No.
Or in the AHL.
No, well, I think maybe in his career. Well, I don't know. Maybe Drew can help us with that. But he scored his. That was Coughlin's. I believe that was his first goal since 2021. I mean, what? Like that's the first blow. Like it just can't happen. Again, we love Wedgie, but if we see another one like that, it's going to open up the door. It's going to organically open up the door. It just can't happen because opposite of him is Carter Hart, who is playing his best hockey, and he was brilliant last night. So the things that are making me unsettled and uncomfortable today, it's the Cale Makar dynamic. It's the potential goaltender dynamic. And if Hart doesn't cool down, I mean, it's just, I don't like it. I don't like how I feel.
No, you definitely shouldn't like how you feel. Your starting goalie gives up a soft goal. That's going to be in the back of your head. On top of that, we've been having these talks with people about how they don't believe Carter Hart can steal a game. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you that Carter Hart played a great game last night.
He did.
He played a great series against Anaheim.
He did.
He's fired up. He's in a rhythm. He's on a roll, and he's doing it against the Avs. He has the confidence that Wedgie needs to have. Now, I will say this, Scott Wedgwood did not play a horrible game.
No, it wasn't horrible.
You know, especially at the start. There was a couple huge saves that Scott Wedgwood was able to make that I'm looking at the defense, the people in front of Scott Wedgwood saying, what are you guys doing? Brent Burns, what are you doing? At some point, when you have to make a decision or force that guy to make a decision, do it, but you don't do it, and they score a goal because of it. It's little things like that that can put pressure on Wedgie that he doesn't need. He's never been in a spot like this where the pressure is on an all-time high, and every shift matters.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I believe we're going to see Wedgie in goal tomorrow.
I do too, man. You got to give him another opportunity.
Yep, and we agreed on that before the series ever started. But that door will swing open if you see another goal like that tomorrow and an Avalanche loss. If you see another soft goal of that caliber and the Avs lose tomorrow night, you could almost bank on Mackenzie Blackwood being in net for game number 3. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the team is going to play great in front of Wedgwood, and the Avs are going to win. And I envision them really like imposing their will, and it gets to a certain point in the game where Vegas is perfectly okay with stealing home ice and going back and splitting 1-1. That's what I'm hoping. I hope that's not wishful thinking. But here's a stat for you. Road teams that go on the road and win game 1, they go on to win the series 57% of the time.
Damn.
That's not like 78% of the time, but it's more than half.
Yes.
And from an odds standpoint, and the odds makers do not care. They do not care about any emotion. They are completely pragmatic, and they just try to set the lines. Yesterday morning, the Avs were a minus 260 favorite to win the series. That means if you wanted to make $100, you had to bet 260 to win 100. I wouldn't advise that. That's almost paying a 3-to-1 rate. But that's what kind of favorite the Avs were yesterday morning. Today, they are minus 120. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. It's a coin flip. That's what the odds makers say.
Just like that, too, Z. You did all that work if you're the Colorado Avalanche to build up the equity to be like, hey, this is how dominant you guys are. You guys should win this. You guys should be able to do the little things to win the series, win these games. And after losing on home ice, all right, now you're looking at it like it's closer than it needs to be. But this is also why I said I could see this game going to a Game 7. I could see the Colorado Avalanche being a dogfight because on the other side of it, there's a lot of experience. All right, the goalie is playing at a high level. Torts has done it. You know, the interim head coach has done it before. And so when you put all that together in a Vegas team that's always in it, it's going to be a dogfight. This is not going to be easy. So for the Avs, they got to go back to the drawing board, do the little things right, play good defense in front of Wedgie. Weggie's going to have to save a couple bigger shots, and then get some of the guys like Netches. Where are you at, man? on 5v5 on even strength, you got to do more. We got to see more from you. And I said that earlier yesterday before the game. I want to see more of Marty Netjes shooting the puck. All right, be more aggressive. Shots on goal, that's what I want to see. He needs to do it in game 2.
He was pretty invisible last night, if we're just keeping it real. He's been great in the postseason. He was mostly invisible last night. Brock Nelson is another guy who's kind of on a milk carton right now. It was good to see Val, score. That was you talk about the insane hand-eye coordination to deflect that thing. And I've talked about this specifically being at Avalanche practice and watching the skill work, after it's done, and watching Val specifically do the redirection drill. It's uncanny how accurate and skilled these guys are with just taking the blade of that stick and making magic. And the fact that he put that thing between his, what? That is insane. We need to see more of that from Val. That was his first goal of the postseason with a goaltender in the net.
Yep.
And it feels impossible to say, but that's the reality of where we're at with Val. So that was a good step in the right direction. We'll see if he can parlay it into some more success. Here was Jared Bednar after the game talking about the poor execution.
Even at times, good decisions, good puck decisions tonight were misexecuted and led to some trouble against in all 3 zones. And then some of our decisions, it just looked like we weren't seeing it quick enough. We had some open men a couple times and we tried to do something else. And it wasn't necessarily more fancy. It was just not the right decision at the right time.
And that's the thing. So much of the Avs' problems last night weren't really process related. There was a lot of good process that led to awesome opportunities that they just didn't capitalize on. Whether it was Carter Hart, making a brilliant save, or it was just missing the net. I mean, there was double-digit shots that came off Avalanche sticks that missed the net entirely. And that's from Nathan McKinnon, who shook loose and had an awesome opportunity on the right side all the way on down. You can't miss that many nets. And then there was double-digit rebound opportunities, succulent rebounds, just so juicy right there, and there's no Avalanche player in that greasy area of the ice to capitalize on it. And then there was others where it's just you brought it up earlier, the LOC play where he and Parker Kelly are 2-on-1 after that turnover, and it bangs off the post. It just hit it, flatly, and it's just man, and he gets upended. There was that power play at the end of the first period where Gabe had this insane feed to Kadri, and there's it's a yawning net on the right side if you're looking at the cage, and it probably needed to be a one-timer from Kadri. Instead, he just gathered it for an additional half a second, and that's all Hart needed to slide back into that space and stone Kadri. Lehkonen overpassing on a 3-on-2 breakaway in the second. And he's going down there. It was Lecky, Brock Nelson, and Jack Drury. And Lecky gives it to Nelson. Nelson gives it back to Lecky. And instead of shooting it, you're trying
that last pass.
Yeah, and you're trying to feed it to Drury for a perfect play. It's perfect probably ain't coming. Take what's there and don't get too cute. There was another one. LOC had a great look, 10, 15 feet out after Sam Malinsky stole the puck, and it was a glove save. And it's just there was a bunch of plays like that where it's just it's just not happening for the Avs.
But they're there, though.
They were.
You know what I mean? So this is why somebody can't sit here and say, well, they didn't have the opportunities. They were there. They didn't execute, and that's why Bednar has said it. That's why Nate Dogg is saying it. They didn't execute. The plays are there to be made. The rebounds are there. You have to be in the right spots at the right time with the same mentality that we can attack and we can score any given second, and that just wasn't them last night. And on top of that, it took him until the third period to really get going.
Right.
That can't happen.
Right.
You're in a dogfight. All right, you started the game off flying around for 3-4 minutes, and then all of a sudden that went out the window, and it was like you guys were in a trance, and it's okay, we know that they're playing a different style. They're slowing the pace down. They're being more aggressive. We're not ready for it. When you need to be ready for it in game 2, that's exactly what's going to happen again, so the Avs need to be ready for it. Woo!
Drew, if you can do me a favor, because I can't find it, and I'm live, and I'm trying to be an active listener, the list of Knights players that were on the 21 team. It's in our notes earlier in the week. I can't find it here in real time. And the reason I want to, because it's more than one or two. And what has potential of a consequence of last night is the confidence flips as well. Like those guys, there's a collection of guys on that team that have done this before against Colorado. Win a series that they're not supposed to win. The Avs are the favorite to win the Cup, which, by the way, that changed today. The Colorado Avalanche are no longer favored to win the Stanley Cup.
Damn.
Yes.
Just for one game.
Yes.
This is one game.
But, just one game, but we gave the stats.
Yeah, that's true.
The teams that have won game one in this postseason are 10-2. Road teams that go on the road and steal game one win the series 57% of the time. And so the odds makers are just the odds makers. They're trying to set it as even as possible to take on the most action. And now the Carolina Hurricanes, who have yet to lose a game in the postseason.
Yeah, that's crazy too. That's crazy too. But there's a little stat with that when it comes to the rest and rust and the teams that, and I don't know it off the back of my head, but the teams that have a bunch of rest, they usually struggle. Where the other team just comes out firing.
And the Canes will have the most time off here before they play tonight. The longest set of time off in 107 years for any team in the Stanley Cup postseason.
107 years.
Crazy. Drew, who are those names that were on that 21 team that are also on this team?
All right, so we got William Karlsson.
Yep.
Keegan Colasar.
Yep.
You've got Braden McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Mark Stone and Shea Theodore.
Okay. So, I mean, that's 5 guys and legit dudes who, like, can say, we've done this before. We've done this before. There's something in this matchup where we own part of this, and again, I love the Avs tomorrow night. I think they come out and they roll. I think they win by multiple goals. And if they don't, I mean, my heart's going to be in my throat on Sunday because we're going every other day until this series is over.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one if the Avs don't get it together. Z, for you, who needs to step up? Like, who needs to just step up? We can go through, like, hey, the fourth line, the third line needs to step up. No, what player needs to make a major impact that you're waiting on?
Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson for you?
Followed by Marty Netschis.
Okay. I was going to go Netschis. I could sit here and say Malinsky because he had a bad game.
Yeah, he did. And so did Brent Burns.
And Brent Burns had a bad game as well. I'm expecting Kell to be back in the mix. So, yeah, you're right. Netschis needs to be better, and all I want him to do is be more aggressive, right? More aggressive, find ways to get shots on goal, like I said earlier, make an impact so that it takes pressure off of Nate Dogg, and it's going to have to take a little pressure off of Kell if he's not 100%, which he's not going to be.
Right, and Kadri too. And I know he's dealing with something. There's no way that he's not, right? I don't know, a wrist, a hand, with Kadri, and you're just not seeing the best of him. He's got to find a way to make just a little bit more of an impact. And then the top line entirely. We know they're capable of it. We saw it in the third period. Why did it take 3 periods? They needed to be that threatened to really exert themselves. It was game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. So that part was disappointing. It was, but yeah, the guys who need to step up the most are the same guys that we were talking about before yesterday started.
Yeah.
Well, not really Netschis. It was Val and Brock Nelson were the 2 top names. Val responds, but even Val can do a better job, man, with that big body, playing with more force in front of the net. We're not seeing that, on any sort of regular basis. And in fact, not to take credit away from him because that goal was brilliant and the skill work and
you talking about Val?
Yeah. And the fine motor skills are just off the charts, like unworldly. Just on excuse me, I'm losing my train of thought here for a second.
When you look this good.
About 40 minutes in.
When you look this good, I'm showstopper. You can study your words.
But with Val, he earned some equity back. Oh, I remember what I was thinking. I don't want to take any credit away from him because it was brilliant. But 2 guys did just fall. Two Vegas Golden Knight players came off of their feet and allowed that to happen. So even within the sexy nature of that goal, there was some circumstance. But there was also some circumstance when Brock Nelson just comes off his feet. And so, I mean, we're talking the humidity. I don't know where we're at with that ice, but that ice last night,
Well, Weatherman Drew, what'd you tell me about that ice, man?
I mean, how many guys just came off of their feet last night?
It was a lot. And I mean, I noticed Brock Nelson 2, 3, 4 different times he ended up falling down. I mean, it was happening quite a bit. And I know there were some people that were kind of speculating a little bit, like at the end of the game, they asked, like, was Carter Hart dealing with some sort of an injury? Because I guess he kind of came off the ice at the end and he was, dealing with something. But apparently, according to one of the Vegas reporters, they said that he had actually started cramping up. And apparently that at ice level last night, and even in that first level, they said it was much warmer in that arena than it usually is, which would lend credence to, hey, the humidity's been a problem. It's been humid in Denver all week with all the rain and stuff like that. And it adds a different element. When you start getting a lot more humidity, you start to get some bad ice. Therefore, you see the game slow down. You see dudes start falling a lot more. You see kind of a lot of the things that we saw in that game last night.
Dude, it is so interesting to hear you say that, because last night, about every other, well, I shouldn't say every other, but there's a lot of times that when I go to a hockey game, go to the Avs, I'll wear a winter hat. Because a lot of times, man, I go into that arena, it's like, it is chilly
Well,
in
you
here.
wore one last night.
I did. But, and so I'll wear something maybe a little bit lighter up top, but I'll have the winter hat on inside. And there was a couple moments last night where I'm like, I'm warm. Like, I'm like probably too warm for this hat. But maybe that did contribute to so many people coming off of their feet last night in an unusual way. All right, I want to get the listeners involved. Where are you guys at? What is your concern level? Are you stressing? Is someone panicking out there? The RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043, as well as our YouTube chat presented by Sean Ponda. We'll get your guys' gauge on things coming up next.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Download the Denver Sports app now and enter today. We'll see you at the lake. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
At some point, you stop calling it pain and start calling it just how I am now. And that's not okay. And deep down, you know it. I'd love to lead you back to the normal you, the one who is active and carefree. So let's get started now with an introduction to the medical team at QC Kinetics and their long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain. They're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulder, hips, and lower back. And now they're moving, sleeping, golfing, running without surgery or long recoveries. The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body already knows how to heal. QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. No operating room, no hardware, no watching summer come and go from a recliner. And now's the time, because the longer inflammation sits, the more damage it does. So this isn't a I'll get around to it situation. Right now is the right time, and the first step doesn't cost you a thing. QC Kinetics, better starts here. Schedule your free consultation by calling 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986 with locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and the Springs. It is QC Kinetics.
Dan Jacobs with the Tale of Two Cousins.
They were both in the same accident. One cousin said she didn't need a lawyer. And when the insurance company offered her $3,000 and said they would pay all of her medical bills, that cousin was very upset because she cashed that check. And when the medical bills kept coming in, the insurance company was long gone. The other cousin called 303-LAW 4040. She was offered $30,000. And when we said no way, the judge used scare tactics trying to get her to accept the lowball offer. That's where a lot of lawyers will try and get their clients to cave in, but not us. We said that's fine. We'll tell her story to a jury. Before we could even get up and walk out of the room, that case settled for $1.1 million. That cousin was very happy. The insurance companies work for their shareholders. At 303-LAW 4040, we work for you. You don't have to feel guilty about asking for what's fair. We hope you never need us, but accidents do happen, so go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303-LAW 4040.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And if you need serious car repairs but don't want the hassle of a shop, All Points Automotive is 100% mobile. From engine rebuilds to transmission replacements and all the mechanical work you need, they come to you guys. To book your appointment, visit allpoints-automotive.com.
Hey, it's Glenn.
And Tiffany.
Here with Denver Roof Pros. Denver Roof Pros is celebrating our 10th anniversary serving the Front Range from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs.
Yes, we are. And there is so much more to Denver Roof Pros than just commercial and residential roofs and gutters. Check out our family of services at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
Hey, it's Zach here. Are you seeing cracks in your home's drywall or foundation? Call Homestrong. Their highly qualified technicians provide free inspections and quotes. With 20-plus years experience in the foundation repair and concrete industry, one thing is certain. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567, 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here. Are you considering GLP-1 injections for weight loss? Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medication long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight regain is common. And here's something most people don't realize. Research shows a significant portion of weight loss can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping weight off even harder. At Colorado Fat Loss, they take a different approach. Their doctor-developed program helps men and women lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days safely and naturally. No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, they use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger and cravings naturally, and help your body burn fat, not muscle. Right now, you can schedule a free phone consultation to see if the program is right for you. Go to coloradofatloss.com. That's coloradofatloss.com.
Results may vary.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff basketball action continues as Cleveland faces New York in Game 2 starting at 6.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, bottom half of hour number 4.
It's me and you, Z. As we walk in, this is our intro.
I love this. Don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Love it. All right, let's gauge our listeners here on the YouTube chat presented by Sean Ponda and the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Someone says, I said I wear a winter hat to the game. He says, Zach calls it a winter hat, LOL. What exactly is a winter hat? It's a winter hat.
It's a beanie.
Unlike the hat on my head. I have a hat. I have like a baseball hat, I guess if you want to call it. But, yeah, it's a winter hat. It's a different – you have to differentiate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a ball cap, right? It's something that you put over so it goes over your ears so your little ears don't get cold.
That's right.
That's what I have. I have one, too. I call it a winter hat.
So you call it a winter hat,
Yes,
too?
I call it a winter hat. I don't know what that listener is talking about.
All right, elsewhere, listen to you guys every day down in Fort Collins. I think that would be up in Fort Collins, but not judging. The scary stat to me, they say, and this is the first time they've ever texted into the radio station. All right?
Shout out.
The scary stat to me is the 10-2 when you win the first game in the playoffs. All right? They say, although this team has had grit all year, they'll bounce back. So, yeah, that stat is scary. I mean, when it's that overwhelming in this postseason, the teams that win game 1 are 10-2, yeah, that's going to be it's going to cause me stress. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt.
Well, and also you have it in these players back in their minds, right? Kale, Gabe, Nate Dogg, they've been there. They've been through these times where they fell in or they fell short. And so it's going to be in the back of their mind, too, so it can tighten you up as a player and force you to do things you don't want to do or that's not in your character, and you lose games because of it. So as long as Gabe, Kel, and Nate Dogg, they're relaxed, everybody else is going to play free as well.
The other thing that was a bit bothersome was how consistently the Avs were losing in the faceoff dot. And I know that's like not a sexy compartment of the game to talk about. Rarely hear it mentioned on SportsCenter, but hockey, like basketball, it's a game based on possession. All right, and 57% of the faceoffs went Vegas's way, 43% for Colorado. So that's not great. But the other thing that really stuck out was the blocked shots last night. The blocked shots, 23-11. It felt like getting pucks just through the garbage, through the trash to get onto Hart. It was problematic. That was a real dedicated effort from Vegas to get down on the ice and use their body to block pucks.
Especially Vegas' first pairing. They did a great job of playing on that blue line, playing really, really good in front of Hart. And if they could continue that, it's going to be tough. So you got to find ways. You got to be more physical. They're going to muck it up like we talked about earlier, slow the pace down. Players like Gabe, all right, they're going to have to come up big like last night. Val's another one with that big body. He's going to have to come up big like he did with the goal last night. So the style of play is going to be like the Kings right now until they can open it back up.
Elsewhere on the RamosLaw.com text line, they didn't put your name on it. Put your name on it, guys. I thought Marty showed last night why the knock on him is he disappears in the playoffs. I would just say this. Let's let it play out. That's the only game in the postseason that's been like that for Marty, and we have 10 games to react to. 9 games have been damn good. 1 wasn't so good. I understand that's the most recent game, and it's the most important game because you're just to the next round. But let's see how it plays out. If he goes out there and has a goal and 2 assists tomorrow night, it's looking more like, it's more like the 9 other games instead of the 1. But, yeah, he's going to have detractors like that. I get it.
Well, but also I will say, to that texture, I mean, I like with the points, yes, Netchus has all the points, but he only has 1 goal. And he had 38 goals in the regular season, and this is why we were talking about him with the 100 points, but scoring and helping out Nate Dogg. He needs to get back to that. He needs to score goals, and of course the assists. He needs to continue to do that, but I want to see more aggressiveness from him, and he needs to get the puck in the back of the net. That's a fact.
That is a fact. Someone else, styles make fights. Vegas matches up with the Avs in a different way than most other teams cannot. I unfortunately don't think they'll be able to adjust enough to win this one. Well, I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, and I do think you're wrong. But I'm not going to act like you sound crazy. I mean, we've seen the Avs fall short a lot more than we've seen them break through. So we'll see. Robin from Denver, I'm tripping over that loss. Yeah, I mean, it's
hard.
It's stressful. It's stressful. Don't be surprised if Mackenzie Blackwood gets another chance in goal. I think you got to see one more game from Wedgie. I just think if now Wedgie can't have another soft goal like that. That first goal it just cannot happen. It can't. We would call that a soft goal in November. It's May. It's the Western Conference Finals. It can't happen. And if it happens again and the Avs lose, I do think you'll see Mackenzie Blackwood.
Well, other than the soft goal, how do you think Wedgie played?
Solid.
So so he definitely deserves another chance. Now, of course, if he does give up a soft goal, we're going to be talking about it. But Scott Wedgwood, at the beginning of the game, had some crazy saves. All right, had the confidence going. All right, he let that one go through the 5-hole, and I understand that one. That can't happen. But then after that, he kind of got back, bounced back, and started to play really, really well. So Scott Wedgwood knows that there's a lot of pressure put on him, and he has to go out there and produce, stand on his head. He may have to steal a game for us. That's just a fact now. It's a fact. What do you like to say? Fact, Jack. You got to do something special when you want to win a championship, and Scott Wedgwood needs to do something special at some point in this series.
Yep. All right. Here is Bednar talking about his top line.
There's some things they can do to make their job a little bit easier. I think I felt like that group was a little bit spread out tonight and not as connected as they needed to be against their D-zone scheme in order to create some time, right? When they found time and they did the right things, they came up with some decent looks and did some good things.
They did do some good things. They were knocking on the door instead of kicking it open, is what I would say. They were knocking on the door instead of kicking it open. Here was John Tortorella after the game, not getting carried away with the win.
We had some major inconsistencies. We didn't play a flawless game by any means. We got some timely goals. We got some great saves at key times. We have work to do, and nice to get the first one under your belt and get a win, but we have plenty of work to do when we're playing against that team.
I will say, I watched that post-game press conference after getting home last night, and he projects a certain kind of confidence that is got to be almost like soothing's probably the wrong word, but that's what I'll go with right now. Like, he's not being demonstrative in any way, just confident, straightforward. His disposition is, I've been here before, and of course he has.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Betsy, right? Bednar. He's like laid back, chill. Like he's gonna be real with you and tell you like this is how it's going to be. But for Bednar, he's been there too, and he sounds that exact same way. Like, we know what we can do, we know what we need to do. Now go out there and execute.
I didn't love our puck play tonight, like our execution, coming out of our zone, through the neutral zone a little bit, even O-zone play. We gave them a handful of odd man rushes that came off our turnovers and missed execution, even if we were doing the right thing.
Missed execution, even if we were doing the right thing. That's so true for probably, 15 different sequences last night where you're right there. You're just not converting. And so in some ways, it's like, well, it's good process. No one wants to hear about process in the Western Conference Finals. You want to hear about results.
Just get it done.
So here we are. The Avs are going to have to overcome. This is real adversity here. The 2022 Cup team never trailed in any series. And now this is different. You're going to have to do something that you haven't done and come from behind, steal back home ice when you go to Vegas on Sunday. We'll see if they can do it. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow's show, previewing all things Game 2. By the way, tomorrow, join us. We're live on the road, 2 to 6 p.m. It's our first brouhaha stop. Guys, we're only doing 3 of these this year. And tomorrow, we're going to be at Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. If you have never been to Schoolyard Beer Garden, it's one of the most unique places in all of Denver. A converted, elementary school. It is so unique. It's going to blow your mind. And you can come hang out with us, grab some awesome food and a cold drink on what is supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Okay, what did we learn today in Denver sports? We'll get to it next.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
People are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of folks don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're a homeowner, there is a way out. American Financing is helping people just like you every day. Real families who are tired of juggling bills and feeling judged by big banks where you're just a number. Their salary-based mortgage consultants will help you look at your whole financial picture, not just credit card debt. And with a refinance, you may delay 2 mortgage payments and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, the average customer is saving $800 a month. Imagine decluttering your monthly bills into one manageable payment and freeing up cash flow for the things that actually matter. Guys, there's no upfront fees and there's no obligation. Make your equity your exit strategy and stop financing your past so you can start funding your future. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
At AutoNation, there's no pressure, no surprises, just the keys. Now through Memorial Day, get 0% financing on your favorite new vehicles. You'll save thousands of dollars in interest alone. Drive the car you want today with 0% financing. Don't wait. Memorial Day savings end May 25th. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation dealership. Less stress, more go. Visit AutoNation.com for eligible vehicles. 0 APR for a limited term with approved credit. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Final segment here on a Thursday. Man, in some ways, and it can just go like this where like some of these shows can be therapeutic.
Yeah.
Just talking out, okay, how do I actually feel about this? What's my level of concern out of 10? Let's add in a third voice because I have that same question, and then we'll get into what we learned today in Denver sports. Anilo Piro with us. What up, AP?
Gentlemen, how we doing? Just still processing what we saw last night on the ice at Ball Arena. But, we'll see what happens in Game 2. It's a big one now.
Give us your, and you'll have more time, obviously, to expand on Denver sports tonight, but your summarization of what we saw.
Yeah, I think Vegas and their goaltender in particular, like he did an excellent job of slowing down the Avalanche's attack, but it felt like Brock Nelson had multiple opportunities to stick a puck in the back of the net. It looked like outside of the first period, like after the first 15, 20 minutes or so, it felt like the Avs maybe got a little lackadaisical.
Yeah.
And Vegas clearly took advantage of that. And look, I was one of those guys, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but like even when the Avalanche scored that second goal late and it was 3-2, I didn't feel that. Not that I felt the first comeback against Minnesota in Game 5, but I was just like, this game just kind of felt off. There was a lack of juice to a certain extent. Obviously, you're missing Cale Makar severely in that matchup, although I heard you talk about it. I agree. I don't know if they win that game if Cale's playing necessarily. But look, they find themselves in a hole. It's the first time this playoff they've been down in a series, and Game 2 now becomes an absolute must-win. And look, if they lose Game 2, they could still figure out a way to win this series in 7. But if you want to
you're asking, like, if you lose Game 2, you have to win 4 or 5?
Yeah, tough.
I wouldn't bank on that. I just wouldn't bank on it. You have to win tomorrow night. I think that they will. I feel very convicted that you're going to see the best of the Avs from a sense of urgency standpoint. And if you have 4 lines with a sense of urgency, the 4 lines that they have, and if Cale comes back, but even if he doesn't, take Cale out of it. Avs are winning tomorrow night. There's no, I shouldn't say there's no way. I just can't see it. I can't envision Vegas coming in here and going back to Vegas with a 2-0 lead. And Anilo, you're uniquely qualified to talk about this because you were at the game last night as well.
Yep.
And we've been in Ball Arena in so many electric environments. That should have been one of them. But not only was it not, I mean, there's one point I turned to Phil in the third period. I said, this is like almost bizarre how flat this building is for a game of this magnitude. That was the second Western Conference Finals game 1 in 24 years, but you wouldn't be able to know it. Like if you're an alien who came down, you wouldn't be able to know it. Maybe you thought the Avs had been in 5 Western Conference Finals the way that Vegas has in the last 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think pregame, like the minutes leading up to puck drop, like you definitely kind of got that sense of like, okay, here we go, Western Conference Final. But as the game kind of started, look, it kind of felt like the first round against the Los Angeles Kings from an energy perspective. And I know you were at a handful of those games as well. It didn't meet the moment of just like, sometimes when you're in a building, you feel the crowd, the ambiance, and everything with it. Like it was pumped up, but not nearly as much as I thought maybe it would be for a Western Conference Final. And maybe that's because some people in this market are overlooking the Vegas Golden Knights. They feel so confident about the Avalanche, right? Still off the high and the buzz of winning that Game 5 against Minnesota to a certain extent. But yeah, I expect that to be a complete 180 come Friday night.
Well, AP, also for like, who needs to step the hell up? Like ZB and I have been talking about this and iron through things, but for you've been watching all these games, all these series, but specifically after Game 1, who needs to step up?
Yeah, I think, Nate just was not great last night. He's been pretty good for majority of the postseason. I'm not going to give him a pass, but you need, he's one of your top 3-4 players on the ice. You need him to step up big time. I think a lot of it last night came down to, again, I thought Brock Nelson had a lot of different looks at the net.
He did.
And it's hard to like pinpoint like just Brock Nelson. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like that's not a McKinnon, that's not a McCarr, that's not a Natchez, right?
But you're expecting a lot from Brock Nelson.
100%. I mean, Wedgwood, I thought, let a soft goal in that first one that he gave up as well. We know what the goaltender conversation has been. I don't know if I can pinpoint it to a player. It was a complete lack of just energy and focus and precision. And I'm not sure if that's a Landeskog thing as the captain. I'm sure it is to a certain extent. You saw Bednar kind of meddling with the lines there in the third period as well. But I think it's a collective, let's get back on track type of moment. Obviously, it starts with Landeskog. It starts with McKinnon and Natchez. But I just thought last night the team as a whole
and I
was a little sloppy.
And I just can't make heads and tails of why that was collectively the case. You know, it almost felt like the start of Game 5, the first two periods of Game 5. And when you have a week off, you know, maybe we didn't have enough of those rest versus rust conversations. When it came up, it was like, thank goodness to get Kale healthy. But, like, collectively, the rest of the group did not. And I say they weren't ready to play. The first 4 or 5 minutes, the boys were buzzing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then
Pepper in the net.
And then it just went away. And so I don't know, man. I
just didn't seem like they're on the same page throughout the period.
The one thing I would say, to be fair with the rest versus rust argument, I think sometimes it's silly, but it's classic sports talk radio, and I love it. How many days did they have off between the Kings series and the Wild series? It was a handful of days, if I remember correctly, as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't a full week.
Maybe not quite, but I think we're talking 4 or 5 days somewhere around
think
there.
about 4.
And they scored 9 goals in Game 1.
I think here's how I think this happened. I think they won on a Thursday night, and we had to wait to the following Wednesday for
I believe
so
Kings,
close. So beating the Kings and then
they won on a Sunday, and we had to wait till Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Was that what it
maybe
was?
not
Is
as
that what it
much.
was? Okay.
But
I
also,
thought it was longer.
You also have to take in consideration the style of play, right? The Knights mucked it up. The slower the pace. The pace was a lot slower in this first game, and I just don't think the Avs were ready for that, and they did not adjust and adapt when they needed to.
Well, look, and it's a Knights team that has a complete breath of fresh air with Torts as the coach now, right? And I heard you guys playing some of the audio cuts. He even knows they need to be better, right? Everyone knows that it's the big, bad Colorado Avalanche. It's not going to be an easy series, and it feels like the Knights were able to bring that punch after absorbing the first kind of jab from Colorado in that first 10, 15 minutes and counter. It really felt like a combination of Wild and Kings kind of almost into one, with the slower play and the explosion of goals in the second period.
All right. Well, what's done is done. You can't go back and play Game 1.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you. They're not going to let me back in the building, right?
I wish they would.
They
let me back in.
You're done. You're out. You're out. You can't go back and change the past. All you can do is impact the future, and that starts tomorrow night. And so tomorrow, we would love to see you guys. We're going to be doing our show live from the Schoolyard Beer Garden in Denver's Golden Triangle. It's going to be a beautiful day in Denver. We would love to see you there. All right, that'll do it for us for now. Hey, real quick, on the way out, someone says, on my way to my cousin's graduation, can he get a shout out? Isaiah Lucero. Shout out. Congrats on graduating, Isaiah Lucero. Hopefully I'm saying that name right.
Isaiah, shout out.
All right, we're stepping aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Parents, looking for a fun way to get your kid active this summer?
Are you kidding me?
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan's third annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp is back. Brought to you by Walmart. Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Your child, ages 8 to 14, will learn the fundamentals of football in a safe, hands-on environment from people who played the game at the highest level. We're talking former Denver Broncos Mark Schlereth, Phillip Lindsay, and Brandon Stokely, along with a trusted coaching staff from Denver South. And every dollar raised goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado, so your family is giving back just by showing up. Sign up today at denversports.com/camp. That's denversports.com/camp.
What is going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And if joint pain is holding you back, then you need to sit down and hear me out. At Regen RX in Denver, guys, they're on another level. They don't just do guesswork either. They build a real plan for you. Maybe you just need some Wharton's jelly to support the joints. Maybe it's the shockwave therapy that they have that can get the blood flow back going again. They're going to sit you down and give you a 6-month booster to keep your results feeling elite. And the best part about going to Regen RX in Denver is their consultation is completely free. You heard me, it's free, no risk. So if you're dealing with degenerative joints or long-term pain, see if the stem cell therapy is the right move for you. Guys, it's about quality of life. It's about staying explosive, staying active, and of course, staying present for your family. So give my friends at Regen RX a call today at 303-630-9770, or you can visit them online at regenrx.co. Again, that's regenrx.co, and let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
Tired of your neighbor seeing everything in your backyard? Worried about your dog or your kids getting out? Or dealing with a fence that's leaning, broken, or just plain worn out? Fence guys have been solving these problems across Denver for over 20 years, and they've been voted best of Mile High 3 years in a row. Wood, vinyl, iron, or chain link, they build it right the first time. Repairs too. Visit denverfenceguys.com for your free estimate. Fence Guys, they don't just build fences, they stand behind them.
There's nothing between a motorcyclist and the road, and when a careless driver causes a motorcycle crash, the results can be catastrophic. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been standing up for seriously injured riders across Colorado. We know these cases, we know how to win them, and we won't rest until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call us today, the Wilhite Law Firm, 303-GOOD-LAW or WilhiteWins.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here for Xfinity. Imagine Wi-Fi so intelligent, it actually fixes itself when something goes wrong. Imagine Wi-Fi that reaches every corner of your home, every room, every floor, every dead zone gone. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together seamlessly. Now imagine it's built for speed and power by fiber. A network with 99.999% reliability. So whether you're streaming, gaming, or working from home, it just works. And that's not just fast, that's a security blanket for your entire network, protecting what matters most. Now, here's the best part. Lock in 5 years of predictability at the same price, no contracts, no commitments. Everything you need is included, your data, our best equipment, and the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi, all of it. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply, select plans only.
If you've ever been in their care, you know the difference they make.